Be strong.
Purchase them, all of the profits go into a pot for them, and then we give it to them as a grant. And we also have a larger one, so that's why it's the My Sister's Keepers grant that we have.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And this is one of the shirts that she was talking about.
Yes, this is one of our original designs. I know that you have all seen a knockoff version of it, and this really leans into the importance of intellectual property and all that good stuff. But we are the original creators of Black Women Nutrition Facts. I created this about 11 plus 12 years ago. And now there's a different variation of it all over the world. But again, it's important to me that Black women see themselves in their own excellence and not in the roles that they hold to other people, not, celebrating being a wife or a mom or, whatever, like all that is dope. Mm-hmm. But before anything, she was still these things: resilient, beautiful, strong, magic, flawless, and educated. And she's made of melanin, gold, and honey 100%. We're also the healthiest thing on the market. You see 0 calories, baby. So that was the idea, just for us to really love on ourselves unapologetically.
I love it. I love it. I love everything you represent. I love how you empower women, entrepreneurs, brand owners, people who want to, you help people bring their vision to life. And thank you for commenting. Y'all comment. It's a time when you want to ask questions. Say hello. Hello. Good evening. So, as an entrepreneur, going through let's talk about and how was it being an entrepreneur during the pandemic when everything stopped, everything just shut on down on us, right?
Yeah.
And then because this right now in our industry, the trucking industry, it feels like the pandemic. So while we was going through, when the world was going through the pandemic, we was rolling. We was good.
Yeah.
But now it's more like the pandemic for us. Now that everything
is slowed down for you all.
It has slowed down. So as an entrepreneur, what advice do you have for entrepreneurs to be able to keep going, keep pushing, using this time to build and stuff like that?
Absolutely. So similar as you were saying in the trucking industry, we also had a really big boom in business during the pandemic, right? And so, yes, financially, it was a gift. We had some record numbers, we really got the exposure that we needed, and we reached a much broader audience and all that fun stuff. But at the same time, because everything took off so quickly, we missed those opportunities to really sit and learn, to really focus on networking events or growth and development courses, right? Those in-person opportunities, because the world was still technically shut down and we were just moving. We were just trying to make it happen and get out there and build our brand, right? And so similarly, now that the world has slowed down a little bit, what I appreciate is that it's allowed me to really value my time. And value how do I maximize every moment of every day and every opportunity. So if you feel like your business has slowed down, you're freaking out, you're like, oh my God, where am I going to get my next dollar from? Trust you, me, God will make a way. But I need you to focus on where's the next place that I'm going to get an opportunity, education, resources, so that when that next boom happens, I'm ready. That I'm structurally sound, that I have systems in place. How do I maximize this downtime to really prepare for the next wave? Because it's coming.
It's coming. It is. Miss Cheryl Paulett said, and thank you for tuning in. She said, I want a She Empowered shirt.
Absolutely. If you go to sheprinted.com.
It's right below you.
Yep.
Right here.
It's on our website. It's under products. It's on the main page, and you can, whenever you make a purchase, like I said, 100% of the profits go into our grant, and then we award women annually whatever it is that we make off of these shirts, because we genuinely want to empower and be our sister's keeper. So thank you.
I feel empowered.
You should.
I did. You see that? Y'all saw the transition.
Should.
I
Right.
feel empowered right now.
It does something. It does something to you.
Something.
And it's such a, I mean, it is also a really good quality shirt. Like, I'm very particular. So we started this line in the pandemic. So this is one of the OG shirts, right? And it still looks just as good as your brand new shirt. It's just a good quality shirt because I never sacrifice quality for quantity or savings of money, which we can talk about later. Like, that's just not the brand that I live in. If you are the brand that's all about like what is the cheapest option, it ain't us. Yeah. But if you want the best quality, if you want a professional experience with a friend, if you want something that will last and you get a bang for your buck, then you're in the right place. But this shirt, it washes very well. It wears good. It feels good. That was one of the constant feedbacks that we got, because a lot of people, when we first did it, thought, oh, they're just trying to raise money. It's probably gonna be the cheapest shirt on the market. I was like, no.
Yeah, it is a good,
not for these
shirt.
Dope women. I'm not gonna represent us in less than excellence.
Absolutely. You know, this is Ashley. Hey Ashley, how did you stay motivated when things got slow? What kept you going?
That's a good question. So for me, I never, it never really got like slow for us, right? It was more so, I guess it was more just so like an adjustment, but it never completely slowed down. It balanced out. That would be the word, because at the heart of the pandemic, it was really complicated to have like all of these orders coming from all these different directions. There were supply chain issues, right? So it was so stressful. So I guess because the stress level was so high, even with the profits, the slowing down gave me some sanity.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it gave me a sense of peace and calm. But it also, because I saw what we did, I was able to then use this time to really structure it, make sure that the systems allow for us to have a good flow, so that when the next boom comes, in one little window of time like that, that we have systems and automation in place that I don't have that level of stress again.
So you use that time to put your systems in place to build a stronger brand that you already have, which was already flawless. Yes. We had been doing our product way before the pandemic. So that was a great question. I share y'all on. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Matter of fact, everybody, stop what you're doing. Like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. Because right now, this is a time where marketing is huge. Like, you have to market your business. Okay. You really, really have to, because you cannot depend on, you can't just sit back and word of mouth. Right. Just no more. Like, it's so important that you market your business, because it's hard for us entrepreneurs.
Right, it is. It absolutely is.
To be able to gain customers. You know, people money are tight right now. So, and as y'all know, especially in trucking, people ain't buying stuff like they used to. Right. So this is a time where you want to get your business in order.
No, absolutely. And then just with marketing in general, like, it is so essential to the success of your brand, period. Right? Like, if you're not effectively marketing, it's not about who does it the best all the time.
See, this effective marketing
all the time. But if you could be the best of the best, but if I don't know who you are, if when I Google a particular product, you don't have SEO optimization, you don't have a presence in Google search, your Instagram name is Tasha Does It the Best, but the name of your business is Curls and Kinks, like, it ain't making sense, right? Like, you have to make it where it's easy for people to know you, have your intellectual property, and then when they find you, you need to show up in excellence completely. And then you have to teach them to find you. we were looking at something online not too long ago, and then immediately, what did I show you on my phone? Look how they found me, right? Because they're using pixels, because they're using marketing, and the marketing imagery was amazing. This one right here is a prime example on how to market. If you don't know what good marketing look like,
that's how you got
here. You need to follow her page. Exactly. That's how you got here. Good marketing. Absolutely.
And that's why we're here. We're here to help you.
Yeah.
Be able to market effectively.
Yeah.
We here to make sure. Listen, what we here to make sure you got products. You know, so you can wear your brand. So you can be able to do the things that we do and we love. This is what we love.
This is what we love.
We love.
Absolutely.
Love to do.
You see these smiles on our face.
This is my favorite place to come. It's like literally, I have pulled my semi truck up in her parking lot, jumped out like.
She sure did. She sure did. Had took up the whole front of my building. Okay. But that's that. I mean, it's amazing. Like I tell people all the time, if you don't love your brand, don't ask other people to. It's true. If you don't invest in your brand, don't ask other people to. Like Absolutely. If you don't see the value in spending more time out of your day, you may not have more money, but if you don't see the value in giving more time into marketing, right? Eventually spending more money on promoting, because totally slightly different things, right? That live together. Branding and marketing go together. Okay. But yeah, like if you don't invest in you, please, and pretty please stop asking other people to. Just stop, because it makes no sense. I'm only showing up for you in as much as you're going to show up for yourself.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break, y'all. And I thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to take a quick break. Think of your questions and write them below. This commercial that I'm getting ready to play is an event that I will be attending next week in California. I will be driving the electric trucks. This is what CalStart has a electric truck emission event that you can actually drive the electric trucks. Literally, we are driving Peterbilts. We driving all the Freightliners, all the electric trucks. So it is a free event that you can attend. And you can check out on our social media. We're posting about it every single day. It is in Fresno, California, and it is free. So check out this video if you want to be a part of it. And just like that, we're back. So hopefully y'all got that information. If you didn't, again, check out our pages, all the information, clicking the link and all that stuff, or just register. You got to think about this. Register for events, get on a subscription so you'll know what's going on, And so if you decide, if they have something else, you'll be ahead of the curve, because in the next couple of years, y'all know everything turns to electric, right? Sure. They trying to get all of our diesel trucks off the road. And side note, everybody on my social media is asking me why am I looking to hire self-drivers, because they're unemployed and they need a job. That's it. It's a simple. Those drivers need employment. I know this ain't got no branding and marketing, but I did market that I want to help unemployed drivers get back in the driver's seat. So stop asking me that question. It should be common sense on why, if you already have a CDL and you don't have a restriction on your license or on your background, you can get a job. I don't need to help you. You just need to apply and help yourself. But if you have a self restriction, companies are no longer hiring people. So I have to place them on operators who will accept them into their company. Okay. Sidebar. We're back.
Listen, and I'm here for it.
Dr. Shadon
I'm here for it.
Yes.
Yes. No, listen, at the end of the day, everybody should be concerned about making sure that people are gainfully employed. Absolutely. Right? Like none of our businesses will survive without consumers. I don't care what it is that you do. So, and consumers, they need money to consume. So it's always a great pause for the cause if we're going to focus on getting people in jobs and putting money back into the pockets of our community.
Absolutely. And thank you to all the drivers who did reach out and say that they was interested. I will be sending out a link for y'all to be able to put your application in, and we're going to see who's the best fit. I have several people we're ready to hire y'all drivers. So, and I'll be with y'all through the whole process, making sure that everything goes smoothly as well. So, all right, let's get into some of the brands that you have worked with. Okay?
Yeah.
You want to name some of them?
Yeah, we've had the pleasure of working with IHG, which is International Hotels and Resorts. We worked for one of our clients is Southern Company, and Georgia Power falls under that umbrella. We do a lot of work with the Georgia Power leg of Southern Company. BET Her recently. We are now working on some stuff for the BET Awards. Who else is on it? I mean, just there's a whole slew of corporate clients that we've been fortunate to serve, and we are continue to be grateful for those opportunities. And that is the ultimate goal, is to really expand our corporate clientele. But it's still just as important that we work with small businesses that are working to scale, right? Like those the names that you don't know yet are the names that I'm proud of, because one day those names will be in lights in the same way, and it's going to be an honor and a privilege to know that we were on that bandwagon with them the whole way, that we got to watch their journey, like Shetrucking. Okay,
that's right.
We got to be a part of this journey as it continues to build and grow, and we're still here with her. And she's been everywhere. You can see her everywhere, all over the TVs, on every magazine. And so it's just an honor to be able to say, hey, I remember when you first realize the power of people knowing and putting respect on your name and putting it out into the universe. And so those are the clients that I'm most honored to say that I serve, the names that you don't know yet.
And so do you do bulk shipping, or do you do like individual? Like, can they buy one product? Because I came in here, y'all, grabbed my bag and went shopping. I'm not going to Walmart. I ain't going to no regular stuff. I'm coming here to She Prints It, and I'm shopping.
Absolutely. So from a retail standpoint, you absolutely can. The items that you see behind us are bathing suits, our hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops, jackets, and more. All of that from our retail line. You can buy one, you can buy 100, whatever floats your boat. We had a whole sorority group chapter that bought our Dipped in Melanin and Red. Clearly,
so
it was Delta
suits and everything.
Yeah, we make all of this stuff, right? And so that's the power of owning She Prints It. It powers our She Wear line. So you can buy any of those things one off. From a promotional products and print company from the under the She Prints It umbrella specifically, the only things that we offer as onesie twosies would be like large format printing, custom tints, retractable banners, tablecloths, just really large format items like that. Aside from that, everything else is loosely called bulk ordering. Our minimums are as low as 24 units. So it's definitely a place for you to comfortably enter and not feel like you have to break the bank. But we do want you to see value in volume, right? Like just having one t-shirt or two t-shirts with your logo on it, but you got like a bunch of designer t-shirts or brand blouses or whatever. That's backwards. I want us to retrain our thinking. This one don't go outside without her brand, and neither do I. Like if you can see me in the streets, down to the socks, baby. Like I am always branded.
Down to the socks. We got socks coming soon.
Yes.
Shetrucking. Get ready. Printed by She Prints.
That's right. So it's easy for you, between you and a spouse or a family member, to split up 24 t-shirts. We run errands. We out in these streets all the time. And to throw on a t-shirt is easy peasy. So we don't want to encourage the idea of you not being worthy of buying in bulk.
And when I was just driving and I started my clothing line, originally, Shetrucking started from a clothing line. And that's exactly what I did. I just threw away everything that I had, pretty much my good clothes. I kept them good. I didn't bring those into the truck. Every day I wore my brand.
Yeah.
And that was more of my uniform. So that's how I'm here today to tell y'all, if you want to brand yourself and wear your uniform every single day, because what that did, that literally help me build relationships with the shippers, the receivers. They started knowing who I was.
Yes.
And I started building those partnerships.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage you to bring yourself and market effectively.
Yeah.
And if you need help, you either go to She Prints It for your branding, for your printing, and the coaching
for your marketing
part,
and coaching, right?
the coaching part of it, and the strategies and different things like that. Then come and holler at me. You go to inbox me or go to my website or whatever on Shetrucking.com and be able to schedule a consultation. Let's talk. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
because she's done it.
Been there, done
like
that.
Some of these folks out here, I ain't gonna even go there. Focus on the people who have done what it is that you desire to do, right? Because some people out here just getting wealthy on the idea that you're interested in something, right? But not because they haven't invested. They've not invested. Yeah. They're making money off of you being intrigued by their lifestyle or whatever, but they have no real receipts.
They don't have products.
They don't have anything to show. You are the product. Be careful to not become their product. That's true. That's really good. I hope that didn't go over your head. These products are in our membership boxes. Okay. So as we get members coming into our organization, these are promotional products that we give to our members for our organization. There's a lot of organizations out here that don't give you anything. And then some of the stuff you give, you might as well throw it in the trash. That part. You might want to throw it in the trash. When I tell
it's no good.
That is so true. It's quality over quantity. Every time. Like, I hear people say, well, I can get, a t-shirt at Walmart for $7 or $10 or whatever. And it's like, but if you have to buy another one every couple washes, then how much did you really pay for it? It's true. Because even the Shetrucking shirt I have on now is so old, but it's still good. See? And so that's what I love about when you wear your own brand. You can just keep going with it over and over. And it's kind of timeless until it leads into the know, like, and trust. Right. Because if I see it all the time, people see she so much with me that when they see it somewhere else, they think it's me. Exactly. They're like, when we first started doing your stuff, they was like, you got trucking now too? I was like, I don't own she as a whole. Because, another thing is this, a lot of people, they are so afraid to collaborate. Yeah. And this is what it looked like when we collaborate, y'all. Yeah. And I tell people, I rock my she. I have she is me. It's a shirt up there on the top. Matter of fact, it might be right here. Yeah. It is. Yeah, it was right there. The she is me, and people think this is me, but it's not. It's a she. But it was meant for you to feel as if it was yours. That is the whole idea of the design, that she is me. She is all of us, right? And so but the power of connection is everything. It is. The power of connection is everything. Like, we have to show up and work together. We can't be out here lone wolfing it. I would rather split $1 billion than solely have a couple thousand. Jay-Z said, what's better than 1 millionaire? Two. Okay. Especially if they from the same as you. Hello. Okay. Hey, Dr. Tina. Nobody does it better than Speaking of collaboration, Dr. Tina with CTR Media Network is on today. Yes. And that's phenomenal. The phenomenal Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. Make sure you check out her book, The Power of Podcasting. This is number one. Her book was straight number one. Wow. Because I'm gonna drop it because it's on my platform. She ain't said this on her own platform. But if you purchase the book on Amazon, it comes with her podcasting course already for free. Okay, $1,000 course she put in her book. So if you're interested in doing what we're doing here, podcasting, you want to definitely grab her book. Yes. So. Oh my God, that's such a gift. It is. It really is. A gift. Yes. Y'all better take advantage of that. I hope y'all wrote that down. Yes.
Definitely get it. The Power
Yes.
Podcasting by Dr. Tina J. Ramsey.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about when being an entrepreneur and like the day that no one orders. Like I think everybody think that because in my t-shirt line, once somebody buy a shirt one time, it was like, hey, I need to go find another customer, and sometimes people don't order back to back
For
or
sure.
so how do you continue to keep getting orders coming in? And that's not just for your business, but even in the trucking industry. It's like, okay, you may go and do something one time, but how do you keep getting those loads? How do you keep, being able to stay connected to the customer, to their freight?
Absolutely. So I'll give you a two-part answer, but both lean into the same thing. So I'll tell you from a retail clothing line standpoint, and then also from a promotional products and service based business, right? As a retail brand, you have to get outside, right? And so I know the pandemic made you feel like, oh, there's so much money on the internet, and it is. But if I don't know you, I'm not coming to look for you on the internet. And so the reason that we were able to constantly have orders, and we definitely had days where we didn't. But
I bugged her through the pandemic.
In the her orders alone kept us busy. But I would say, like, from a retail standpoint, I was always outside. Every time that there was an opportunity for me to vend and put my brand in front of people, I took advantage of that. And it wasn't every vending situation wasn't like, oh, I made thousands and thousands of dollars, right? In that moment. But I've absolutely had events where I've made back my investment. And then because I met somebody there, the website is going off. Because they went home, they showed their jackets. Our dipped in melon camo jacket was like our top seller, right?
We need to show them that.
This one. That's a different one.
I know, but I want to show this one.
That's a Delta jacket.
Because yes, this is Delta, but a Shetrucking one is coming.
Yes.
That's why I want to show that. Yes. Listen, my members this year, my admins and moderators. I can see y'all.
God, that's gonna be so fly.
Please let me know if this is what y'all want.
Yes.
Because
I really God, that would be so gorgeous.
Yes. I really want to put y'all in where we get some.
Yes, and it's a snitch waist. But let me tell you, we sold out. We did Essence festivals that year right before the pandemic. And it seemed like it was slow a little bit after that, and all of a sudden the website was just going off. But it was people who were finding out about us from people who went to Essence, right? So like
you gotta do good business.
Do every opportunity you got to make sure people know your name, and then that's the second half. But you got to also be doing good business, because so much of what we do is so heavily centered around referrals. She finna get our marketing game together, so it'll be much better sooner than later, right? But
you do a great job.
We do the best we can with what we got, okay? But I'm ready for somebody who loves it to make sure that we look amazing all the time. But at the end of the day, our business is probably 65-70% based on referrals. We don't run ads. I've probably spent $500 over the course of 6 years on ads. Our word of mouth is the most powerful marketing tool that we have right now. It's because we do good business and we treat people with respect and we honor their dollar. And that is what you should be focused on when the orders are not coming in. How do I go back to my warm and my hot leads? Are you following up with them in emails? Are you checking on your old customers? Sometimes it's not just about chasing new money, because there's that old money is already sitting right there. They just busy.
Yes.
Reach out to them. Hey, you haven't ordered a shirt in a long time. Here's a $5 off coupon. Check out our newest collection. Or, hey, I haven't chatted with you in a while. I hope all is well. But if you need anything, we're still here to service you. Like, whatever that looks like. But maximize those. All I can say is you just have to maximize those moments. Nothing is designed to destroy you. It's only designed to make you better. So while you're looking like I don't get an order today and you upset, you should be like, boom, I got some downtime. Let me hit these old customers up. So that ching ching be hitting hard when I wake up in the morning. That's the goal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember that first year, it was great. I think I made the most money I ever made off apparel. That second year, I was like, it was a pause. Everybody had their stuff. I had to go find more people to market to as well. And then, like you said, doing events help as well. Being outside. And these are things that we want to be able to hands-on bring you into the office. As you see me and her here now. And we're gonna put a workshop together. I'm announcing it right here on the Shetrucking podcast.
Yes.
Because we want to make sure that you are in position to win. This is winning season.
Yes.
Okay. We got 6 months left for the rest of the year. So how are you spending your last 6 months to close out the year?
It's our Jordan year, right?
It is. And we hands-on. As you see, we here, we're not virtual. So we're hands-on and we want to bring you in, guide you, maybe a very small, I say no more than 20 people. 20 people, we want to be able to give you the opportunity to come on in the room and sit down at the table and we pull your marketing strategy out. If you're not branded, we're going to make sure you brand it and be able to leave with everything you need.
Absolutely.
The tools that you need to be successful.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited. She brands. She builds. She's something. Yes. Okay. She all that. But we're gonna make it happen. She empowers. And you're right. Like what's important is that it is an intimate size group because to know us is to know that we're gonna give you all the game.
Oh, yes. Yes.
All the game. Like you need a full size, several notebooks. You need the trifold.
You're gonna need your computer.
Pages. Your computer, all of that.
A piece of paper.
That's right.
You don't need all of
it because we're getting work done that day.
Absolutely.
It's not just about taking notes and then you go take the action later. Now we knocking things off the list that day because we genuinely want you to win. Like nobody wants to be at the top by themselves. That's why.
Absolutely. For real. That is the truth.
That is not our goal.
So, y'all, if you have any questions, definitely. This is the time to ask questions. I'm sitting here with Miss Dr. Shadon Reynolds of She Prints It. I got on her shirt. You see how she made me change my shirt from Shetrucking to
She Empowers. Boom. Boom.
Just like that.
What a beautiful wardrobe change. Okay, because it works either way. Okay,
I love it.
That's how you flash people, right? Start with She Powers, then hit them with a little Shetrucking.
And I feel like now we all branded in here. Everything as you see now is black, white, and red.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about your branding, let's talk about how to be consistent in your branding because that's what made me throw this shirt on, right? Because I want to show the difference.
Yes, and cohesiveness. Absolutely. Like if you don't have a brand guide, like that is so important. It really is because it teaches people how to see you. It also makes it really easy for you and others to identify when somebody is using your brand outside of your guides without your permission, right? If you see she in pink, I did not do that.
Yeah.
Because I would never do that. Right. I would never do my she in pink.
Wait, she may.
I may. Maybe.
She
maybe in October.
Collaboration.
Maybe a collaboration. Maybe a collaboration. But it's gonna be so clear that it's a collaboration. Right. And so because it's not our brand colors, it's not representative of who we are. Your brand should constantly tell a story. If you are all over the place, your customer's gonna be all over the place. You're going to attract something that you don't want.
Understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna have the target audience that you're looking for.
Well, they're not gonna see you as a brand.
That's true.
They're gonna see you as an item. Right? So like they're like, oh, that t-shirt. I like that t-shirt. They're not gonna say, I like Shetrucking's brand of t-shirt.
That's true.
And that's the difference.
I had a girl that tried to steal my brand. She lasted a year. She couldn't do it.
And then she trucking.
She put teal, white, pink, and add yellow. Girl, bye.
Wow.
You couldn't even stand. If you watching this, you couldn't even stand a year. And I'm gonna sip my tea.
God don't like ugly. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I almost said a name.
Ooh. I wish you would have sipped and then let it out.
Shout out
Okay.
to Sakara.
Listen and spit it out. Spit it out. Sip the tea and spit it out. But also, to that point, when it comes down to who owns the intellectual property, right? Like a lot of people are now making their logo on these free apps. They're using like free logo.com or whatever, or you're building your stuff, your logo on Canva. Wherever you source it from, if you didn't go through a designer, that's who owns it.
So we're going to be talking about trademark and copyright and different things like that, and how to protect your intellectual property. Because when that lady did that, guess what? I'm just waiting for her to get enough money so I can sue her. Now that I see that she no longer is functioning because she don't have the theft that she wanted, right? Because they try to steal your brain, your ideas, and all that kind of stuff.
Can't steal my mind.
Can't steal my mind. You're right. That's the thing. You can steal what a person may be doing at that moment, but when it's theirs and it's their purpose and it's their thing, you just can't take that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And so, but if you're watching this, I'm coming for you. Because guess what? I'm Shetrucking, baby. You a knockoff. Let's talk about knockoffs.
And you know what? But that's a real thing, right? Like
it is.
When we first started, people with good intention, because I do think most of the time that y'all operate in love, right? Just uninformed. People would send me pictures of somebody else's brand and say, "Can you make this?" And I would say, "No." You go buy it from them. They put the time and the energy and the hard work into that. But to the same point, somebody sent me a picture of somebody with a knocked off version of my dipped in melanin, to which I own the trademarks to. So I immediately sent a cease and desist to the young lady and let her know, if we discover that she's made any other profits off of this, that there will be consequences. Because understand, people have invested their time and their energy and their creativity into creating something. And so for you to just think that you can just take it is not a thing. Okay? It is not a thing.
That's a no.
It's no. Find what you love. I've seen so many people try to create our font. There's a similar standard font out there, but if you see, like, our S is the neck of the S is pulled over further, the mouth of the H is wider, so this is a custom built font. Somebody tried to copy it offline and duplicate it, but she owns the trademarks to it. Like, you have to protect your intellectual property, because I guarantee you, especially if it's blowing up, people gonna try to steal it. But stop taking stuff, folks. Like,
I had somebody who put Shetrucking up, and they was a dispatching company. And if you watching, because I know you're my friend on Facebook, I'm talking about you.
I need some tea.
Let me sip my tea.
I need some names. Can we Google them? Somebody tag them.
They are Googleable.
Somebody tag them in the comments. Okay. The conversation.
They are Googleable.
That is so funny.
But we want to be real, because these are real life things that us entrepreneurs are going through. So when you get ready to start your brand, or if you already have a brand, you got to understand that it's going to come with it, especially once you get on a certain level. And we're not talking about she making shirts at her house, and she printing one or two. She's doing bulk orders for big major corporations. So when you get on that type of level, as well with myself being on, the type of level that Shetrucking is on, then people gonna come and try to duplicate, steal everything, and then they gonna talk about you like a dog. But remember, those people that's talking are your motivators. I had 200 people in my story watching the stories, and I said to myself, we don't get paid by people liking our posts, right? Because the average person won't even like it. There's probably more people on here that's watching that like it now.
But you know what's so funny?
But we do get paid for you watching. So keep watching. Okay, because we're going to keep giving you more and more content here, especially on the Shetrucking podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing some conversations and tea days where I'm giving you the tea so you can understand my life and my journey of the ups and downs of this entrepreneurship. Why did I stop bringing people maybe on my platform? Maybe they weren't good. Maybe they didn't do good business. Because people keep asking me why. And so know that
I'm tuning in for the tea.
Okay,
what is that episode?
For the tea.
Okay, I'm tuning in for the tea. But it's real life. It's real life. It's so funny. Even when I got my doctorate, it's like I had maybe 1,400 views on the video, but only 300 likes on the post.
Y'all gotta do that.
Make it make sense. You watched the whole video, shorty. Like,
do you not like it?
It ain't gonna hurt you to hit the like button. But sometimes, what I also understand is that, and the reason that I say this, and I'm smiling and I'm laughing about it, because I am definitely at the place that it does not bother me. Yeah. I greatly understand that it's a you problem and not a me problem. And I say that with love, because some of us are just still battling our own insecurities and demons. And, you know, what you're trying to push onto me and deflect onto me is really about you.
Because we're really in competition. When you get on these type of level, you in competition with yourself.
That part.
You're not in competition with no one else.
Absolutely.
You are literally, I am my worst critic.
Yeah.
And I think every entrepreneur, we are our worst critic.
Yes.
So, so we putting time in, speaking of that, I want to go back to you getting your doctorate. And congratulations on getting your doctorate degree.
Thank you.
Being a mother, being an entrepreneur, how did you balance that, going back to school and all that kind of stuff?
So let me be very clear. For me, my doctorate, I have an honorary doctoral degree from the Greater Commission Theological and Seminary College here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm so glad that we get to have this conversation, because I also went to college. I attended Clark Atlanta University here in Atlanta, Georgia as well, HBCU. And I think that there's been a lot of chatter around honorary degrees. Fun fact, me and Tabitha Brown got the same degree on the same day, which was super cool. If y'all know, everybody knows Tabitha Brown at this point.
And that's her business.
Yes, that's her business.
I know Tabitha said, and that's
my business. And so, but what I find to be very interesting in what I want you to remember as you're building your business is that some of the life experiences you are receiving, you will never get in somebody's classroom. The things that you are really contributing, in the struggles and the strains and all these things that you're going through on this journey are giving you, it's a classroom of life. And that will go on forever in the day, but you will learn and grow from it in ways that no professor could ever provide you. And so I celebrate my doctorate to a whole nother level, because I was honored because of my life's work. Right? It is in celebration of my life's work, the contribution. I got humane letters. And so that's my contribution to humanity. What I've put into the world, someone saw my level of work in years and said, you deserve to be honored with a doctorate accredited degree. Right? And so I'm still humbled and grateful, but I'm able to really sit back and realize that I earned that. That I put in.
But how did
work.
You balance that? Because I think
I don't know. I don't think I did.
The balance is people. You know, it's hard to balance like stuff.
But there's no such thing as balance. Just take that word out. Take it, pick it up, grab it, throw it in the garbage. Okay,
you just gotta do it. Right.
You just gotta do it. There's no balance. Like whatever I choose to do in that moment. So if I'm time blocking, right? I say that like from 9 to 5, those are my work hours if I'm in the office. And that's all that matters. That's my focus. If I happen to be working prior to that or after that, is still a part of my family hours. So that's the priority. So if I'm like, okay, if we're doing this and I'm like, okay, but my family call, I gotta go. It's time to stop because I chose to dedicate this time to them.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't balance it all evenly. I'm just saying that I'm prioritizing.
That's it.
But I'm not balancing anything.
Yeah,
I'm not a juggler. This ain't no balancing act. It's not a thing. But I choose to prioritize. If I'm at work, then I'm 100% there. And my family respects that and they understand that that's what I'm focused on. But when I'm in family time, I'm 100% there. And so everybody around me needs to respect that that's my focus in that moment. If it's, time to, as a speaker, when I'm traveling, things like that, which is still work, or if I'm, doing school or whatever that looks like, that's the focus in that moment. If I'm in my coaching sessions with my coach, trying to maximize my professional success, then that's the focus. And I don't let work or family interrupt that.
Do you write it out every day? Like, do you use a calendar, a journal, a planner, or anything?
I use a calendar. That thing be going off like 40 going north because it's always something popping up and I need it because at this point in my life, I will forget something faster than I remember it. Mm-hmm. So I use calendars, but I'm also a big fan of writing because I feel like writing makes it real. Mm-hmm. When you have to spell something out, when you have to put something on paper, it feels like it does something different to your mind. Mm-hmm. Right. And so I'm a big fan of writing things out, making them big and bold, particularly things that are like goal-centered affirmations. I want to constantly see them. So I'll write them on a large sticky note and put it on the wall.
I wish I could see them. They all around.
Yes, especially the things that really inspire me. Look, I'm a printer, so clearly I'll print some stuff out in a heartbeat and put it on the wall. But writing, there's a power in your pen. Mm-hmm. And I can't clearly articulate what it is, but there's something about being able to write it out that makes a world of a difference.
Well, everyone, again, if you missed the first half of the show, I'm going to replay the same commercial because I really want you to participate if you can. This is a free event. We're going to be I want you to meet me in Fresno, California at Cal Start Emission Driving Event. So you get to, electric driving event. It is about the emissions as well, but you'll be able to see the commercial. So stick with us. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we're back. Thank you so much for tuning to the Shetrucking podcast. Today I have Dr. Shetrucking Reynolds here with She Prints It. I'm so excited. She my sister. I love her. Yeah.
We're absolutely family for sure.
Yes, Miss Mona. She is our chaplain in Shetrucking. And
she gorgeous.
She said, I love the She Empowers shirts. Yay. Yes. So thank you so much. Yes. So, okay, let's talk about the different products that you offer.
Yeah. Whew. So we have tons of products. I mean, literally thousands, which is why we really like to talk to our clients, specifically like, what are you looking to do? Who's your target audience? What your goals are? Because we can support you in a multitude of ways. But we do have catalogs available. We have it digital. We also have a paperback version of it for you. If you are interested in just seeing some general stuff, then please go ahead and check out our email us, shoot us an email at info@sheprinted.com, and we can send you a digital copy. And then this is the one that we keep in our showroom. We also have several of these available when people come in. And it's just a deeper dive with all of the different items that we have to offer, a lot of the apparel options. And this one is more compact. We focus on some of our top sellers, different categorical things that you may be interested in by the season. Tents is one of our top sellers right now.
She made my tent. The
Yes,
Shetrucking
if you
tent.
seen the Shetrucking tent, we did that for her. So this really kind of highlights some of the essentials.
And y'all should have saw me putting it in that truck.
That's exactly what you were picking up when you came with the truck. Yes, absolutely. But that, I mean, people don't think to invest in things like that. But if you're out vending outdoors, and it's a sea of blue tents and white tents, you can't tell me that you're not gonna notice a tent that has some custom branding on it, and you're gonna be curious. And curiosity is a beautiful thing in business, because you want people to come over and say, well, what do you do, and what is this, and what do you have, and oh, this is so nice, I saw your tent from afar, I saw your flags hanging off your tent or whatever. So all of that stuff also perfectly aligns with a strong marketing presence, because if I see you online and you look great online, then I go to an event or to your retail store and it's a mess, you've completely messed up your marketing and branding story.
Absolutely.
So
last words as we close out. Y'all better get y'all last questions in.
Yes, yes. I tell you what though, my last words first is a thank you.
You're welcome.
Like, thank you so much for sharing your platform with me. Most importantly, thank you for what you do for the viewers, for the Shetrucking community, that membership model that you have, their opportunity to really be connected. You guys are really, you have no idea how important and how powerful community is. To have people who understand what you're going through, what your struggles are, that have resources to empower you. I'm always just so grateful when I see what you've built, because that is changing the world. We are so much greater together. So that's first and foremost. Thank you for sharing your platform, and thank you for being out here and changing the world.
And how can people follow you?
Yeah, Instagram, easy peasy. Well, She Prints it on all platforms, right? So Instagram is a slightly unique, where She Prints .it. But no matter what the platform is, if you type in She Prints it, we're gonna come up.
Absolutely. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's see what Miss Mona, she says. Yes.
Yes.
Quality and excellence.
We receive it, Miss Mona.
Well, y'all, thank you again for tuning to the Shetrucking podcast. I'm gonna be doing more in-person podcasting. Yay. You're gonna hear more from us as we really plan and bring on this event, because it's gonna be amazing. You'll see me posting it.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say, get ready to July. But okay,
little drop.
Just a little drop. Get ready,
yes.
y'all. Get ready to head to Atlanta. It's gonna be amazing, amazing. It's only gonna be a few people, limited seats, and this is a limited opportunity, because we want to make sure that we are hands-on and that we're able to continue to coach you.
Yes.
Okay, through the process. We've been literally to get like, this is what, I can't remember the year I met you.
I don't even know. It feels like we've always known each other though, right? Like it was an instant connection, like straight family from the moment we share space with each other. So I don't know. I don't know, but it don't matter. Okay, I'm just so glad God made it happen. That's all that matters.
But we want to bring other people in. So we want to bring other people into this circle of, as you see, when I'm like, hey, and like today, I was like, hey, I need some shirts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta know who to call.
You gotta know
who you gotta have people in your corner that's gonna help you as well to be able to get what you need, like products, services, different things, answers business questions. She is a wealth of knowledge. So she just gave you a lot of business game, entrepreneurship game, branding game, sisterhood.
Yeah,
my sister keeper.
That's right.
As she said before, if you purchase a shirt, it's gonna go towards Tell them it one more time.
Yes, going to go towards our My Sisters Keepers grant, and we will gift all of the profits to different small women-owned businesses that have been in existence for 1 to 2 years.
Yes, yes, yes. So much information was dropped on this live.
Yes.
And God will set you up
Every time.
Every time. He will, but you got to do the work.
Listen.
You got to do the
work.
You got to do the work. It's people that pray about it all day and don't put no work in.
But I think that
my cup is empty.
We can go deep on that.
And I can pray that it's some more tea coming here. But guess what? I gotta go put the tea in the cup.
You gotta do the work.
I gotta brew it. Mm-hmm. I gotta put the sweetener in it.
But
I gotta stir it
prayer
up.
And faith ain't the same.
That part.
Because sometimes y'all think y'all praying and y'all just begging. Oh, y'all don't want that, huh? Because faith is work. To have unwavering faith is work. And some of y'all ain't really got that type of faith. Some of y'all just out here begging. Y'all panhandling with y'all prayers. Okay. Let y'all
put the work in. Pray about it.
Have real faith and then do the work.
Do the work. Because it's going to take some long nights. It's going to take stand up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. Getting up maybe at 3 o'clock in the morning. 24 hours. Sometimes we work on our brand. Sometimes we know we're supposed to be asleep, but guess what? We're trying to finish because we got deadlines. I'm sure you sometimes you have huge orders and you up all times of the night.
I got employees that don't show up, they're not feeling good, but my customers don't care what's going on the back end of this business. They want what they pay for, and I understand that.
That's right. So pray about it, but do the work. Put the work in. Say it, sis. I know, right? Let's go.
Yeah.
So this has been another amazing episode of the Shetrucking podcast with Miss Sherdun. Listen, Dr. Sherdun, I gotta get used to that, child.
I know. I gotta get used to hearing it.
Listen, I'm so proud, first of all, of you.
Thank you.
You listen. I told her, I'm pulling up on you.
Yes.
I said, I'm coming to get my hug. I'm pulling up. I got so excited. I jumped out the car too fast. Without walked in. I'm like, hey. But I was so excited because she didn't even tell me.
I know.
She didn't even tell me.
I know.
So
everybody got on me about that.
Mm-hmm.
It was so surreal when you get those kind of honors and opportunities. You're still in awe.
I want to close out by saying how powerful is doing like writing down your goals and doing a what do we do every year?
Some people call them vision boards.
Vision boards, yeah.
It's extremely important. What you put into the universe is the start of what you get back. Mm-hmm. Yes, you have to do the work. Yes, you have to have the faith. But there is power in placing things in the universe. I wrote a list of goals for 2023, some of which I shared online because I understood that a closed mouth don't get fed, and I put it into the universe. So many of my goals were knocked off in days. Instantly.
Yes. I was watching her goals get knocked off. Universe. Yes. And you still got 6 more months.
Yes, and I said, I can't believe I still got 6 more.
And look how much I'm confident. I'm just blown away and so proud and so inspired.
Yeah.
First of all, because I'm just like, I literally seen the list that she posted on social media, and I see her literally walking in God's purpose for her life. And I hope you're encouraged today.
Yes.
Because you can do the same. Get your vision board out, write it down. If you want to post it, post it. If you don't, you can keep it private. But when she posted it, it's coming to life.
It is. I understand why people think that they should, move in silence, but it's not about moving in silence. It's about moving with discernment, because God don't want you to be silent. He has his children lined up and ready to help you, because you can't do this by yourself. But if you don't let his children know that you need support in order to conquer these goals, it can't happen. So I do understand that, you want to move in silence to some degree, but you also have to make sure that people know what it is that you need. We can't complain about people not supporting us and we never ask for help. And I know that's easier said than done because I'm horrible about asking for help. But I'm doing better and just putting it out into the universe and letting the Lord position people in my life.
And I think that's the piece when you get to that point where you're like, Lord, I'm gonna focus on what I need.
Mm-hmm.
That part right there is what's gonna push you to that next level.
Yes. Amen.
Because sometimes we just focusing on what we're doing, but what are those missing pieces?
Yeah.
Sometimes it may be your system, sometimes it may be your funnel, sometimes it may be the way you network. You might not be networking effectively. You might not, like she said, be outside going to different conferences, different events, actually aligning yourself up with your target audience. And so I just want to encourage you on today.
You also may not be a servant.
That's true. I realize I was a servant leader.
Yes.
Gotta be a servant leader.
You can't always be asking for something from others and never willing to give anything in return.
I was just saying that you gotta pay to play.
Yeah.
People think that you're supposed to come and you just give it to them. If somebody giving it to you, trust me, they ain't giving you all you need. First of all, they're not gonna give you everything you need. Even when I'm doing my consultations, if I don't even if it's free and I'm just giving you some information, I ain't giving you everything. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit. You know why? I'm gonna give you a lot. I will say it's more than what your imagination can take at the time. But you're not gonna get that if you purchase whatever.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And so people always ask me, well, how you get all these different things? Well, we had to invest and put our money where our goals were.
Yep.
I just literally attended an event. I attended this huge event because someone invested into their brand to be there. This is not luck.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes if you want to be there, when we go to the Mid American Truck Show, we have to purchase space to be there.
Yeah.
So you gotta pay to play.
Yeah.
And in this next season, we're gonna play hard. All right? We're gonna play hard. We're gonna play big.
Okay, drop the mic. Boom.
So as she said, you can go to sheprinceit.com, be able to get your brand started. Get your Miss Mona, you have a brand, Trucking Angels with Christ. You do events. She Prince It is a vendor who you can get all of your products from.
Yeah.
Right here. She has everything that you possibly want. Okay. My job is to show you how to get the funding to be able to get those products.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it is people who will believe in your message and your brand if it's aligned properly. So you can be able to get funding to get your products.
Yep.
Okay. So all right. What? Amen. She said amen. No, what did they say? Oh, yes. Thanks again. I see more people on here than usual. But we'll be back around this time again. Okay. I'm gonna let her go home. She's been at work all day. I'm just holding her hostage here. I'm trying to keep her as long as I can.
Oh my God, this was good. This was so good. Thank you. I'm so excited that we really got to connect with your audience and thank you all for your level of engagement because that is huge. We want to make sure we're maximizing these opportunities.
Absolutely. And so let's I want y'all to share, like, and subscribe. Watch the replay. If you're watching the replay, you have a question, you want to drop some, comment, definitely comment on this video. We're here for you. We're here for you. Yeah. Okay. If I wish I could show you what's in front of us, it's all everybody else's product. So I just showed you all of her products, but everything in front. I feel like I want to. Let's do a tour. I got to. Can you tell them about?
Yeah, for sure.
I can move this all around.
We can make it.
Let's see. Right here.
Oh, okay. Multitasking.
Yes.
So
let's talk about it.
So this is just a retractable banner. So this is what we use for all of our marketing. We have several of them that we take with us to shows and keep it in the office and all that fun stuff. But every brand should have again, marketing materials, signs of this nature. It lets people know what we do, all the ways to reach us, a QR code at the bottom so that if we're at a show, they can immediately scan that and follow us on Instagram. But it lets them know who we are. It also keeps them engaged and something to do if we're busy while they have us at the show. And this is just some of the different promotional items that we have, brands that you may be familiar with. So like some Geico stuff, BET Her, Morehouse School of Medicine, just all kind of different things that we offer so that you can see in real time. If you're like, oh, I wonder what kind of mugs that you guys have, it's our showroom. So you can come in, you can touch, see, feel, decide what works for you, what intrigues you. You may come in here and see something you never thought about before, right? And so now you get to come in, you get to touch it, and you get to say, oh, this is nice. Okay, I do want to do some of these. I wasn't sure how big these lanyards were, but now I get to see what they look like. And so I can come in and experience what size lanyard do I want, So we really just make a space for you to truly see everything that we have, but so that you can also touch, like I said, particularly when it comes to apparel, because a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't know what's a good t-shirt. I don't know what's a good sweater. I don't know what I like and what I don't like. We may tell you that something is polyester and you're like, I don't want polyester until you feel it and you're like, oh, that is exactly what I want, right? Like
strong.
Join the Shetrucking Foundation today and be a part of a supportive community of women in the trucking industry. Unlock exclusive access to valuable resources, including mentorship, educational workshops, and networking opportunities. Whether you're an experienced professional or just starting your trucking journey, Shetrucking is here to empower you and help you thrive. Visit www.shetrucking.com to join us and drive your trucking career to new heights. Hello, everybody. I am Dr. T&J Ramsey, the host of the Shetrucking podcast powered by CTR Media Network. And we are super duper excited to bring you today some of the best in the trucking industry to share and have healthy conversations about what's going on in the trucking and transportation industry from the perspective of the truck driver. So this show is exclusive for you. Today we have in the building Avante K. Jackson, aka CDL Shorty. He is a dedicated husband of 5 months, so he is a newlywed lady. So step out. Let me stop. He's also a seasoned CDL trainer. He is a Class A CDL driver. He's a mentor and the proud owner of CDL Shorty D4D LLC. With all the experience that he have and how passionate he is working and being within the trucking industry, we had to bring him on the Shetrucking podcast and also tell you a little bit something more about him as our interview go on. So without further ado, let's bring on Avante K. Jackson, aka CDL Shorty, in the building. Just bring him on.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. That was an amazing introduction, by the way.
Hey, you gave me, it's like this. I can't work with if you're not doing the stuff. You're doing the stuff, so I have something to work with. So it's a pleasure having you on the show today, and I can't wait until we be able to jump into this conversation, especially because you're a trucker, you're also a trainer, and you hear and see the things that's going on. I like to say behind the scenes, because you literally go to the trucking stations and all that, trucking stops, and you talk with the truckers. So with that being said, what made you decide to go into the trucking industry yourself? Because we have many people that support, but what made you say, I'm going to be a part of this industry, and I'm also going to help share the voices of truckers?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, it really kind of started as I was a little kid. My mother used to always tell this story. If you ever get a chance to meet her, she'll tell you that I used to say the weirdest thing. When I was 2 or 3, I used to say that when I grow up, I was going to be a truck driver and I was going to deliver fish. I don't know where the fish part came from, but I used to say I was going to be a truck driver. And then, as I grew up trying to look for a career path, I was working for CVS Pharmacy, trying to climb the corporate ladder, and just wasn't working out. So then I fell in love with trucking. My brother was doing it. My dad did it. My brother was doing it at the time. And I had a cousin that was doing it too. And I had got laid off from CVS Pharmacy, and my brother was running a load from Charlotte, North Carolina to Victoria, Texas. And he saw I was down in the dumps, and he was like, come jump in the truck and run this load with me. And when I did that, man, I got diesel in my blood and been in it ever since. And that was in 2015.
2015. Okay, so but you had already been predestined to do trucking. You just had to go through the motions because literally you've been saying this ever since you was 2. So it had to come to fruition.
Yeah, like for real. My mom, like I said, if you ever get a chance to meet her one day, she will tell you. Like I used to say that. I don't know where the fish part came from, but she used to say I said I was going to drive trucks.
Well, one thing that made me draw to you is your transparency in regards to trucking, your heart in regards to bringing out and also sharing the authentic voices of what's going on from the trucker's perspective, because we can hear things from different companies and different situations, but really the ones who are keeping everything going, and I have said this before and I'll say it again, we as a community, as a society, is leaning heavily on the backs of the truck drivers. And I am a strong advocate of truck drivers because you guys do not get the flowers that you deserve. You're not getting the proper pay that you deserve from my perspective. And it's a lot of things that I see, even though we do have truck driving appreciation in September, I just feel like it should be more appreciation that's for the people that help us, people like myself, to have our life as we know it. I mean, everything is dependent upon the truck drivers. So how do you feel as a truck driver?
As a truck driver, I feel the same way that you feel. I feel like we are underpaid and undervalued big time, especially in this new market with this new economy. That's part of the reason why I'm so passionate about truckers' pay, along with truckers' health, because I got my own separate health issues. But with truckers' pay, what really made me become passionate about is because working at the CDL school and being hands-on with new drivers, they're you put your all into these students, and then when they graduate, get their CDL, and they go to these companies, they get their heart broken because they're not getting valuable pay. Man, you got some of these companies that are paying these students like they work at McDonald's. And then like I keep their number, I keep their contact information. I always try to stay in contact with them. You talk to them 6 months to a year from now, and I say a good 75, maybe 80% are not in it anymore. Somewhat because of truckers' pay. And then another part of it is they found out this isn't what they wanted to do. But if truckers' pay was up, then it might persuade them a little bit more to stay in the business.
Yes, I have been noticing on social media, and especially different YouTube channels lately, a lot of truckers have been, which has me concerned. It have me very concerned that a lot of truckers that I'm seeing, especially ones that have these big platforms, they're talking about they're going to leave trucking. And so I feel that now we should have this conversation because we as a economy, as United States in just general, we need the truckers. We also need a new a new generation to go into trucking, because what we're finding is that a lot of the truckers are now aging out, because you have ones that have been in the business for 20, 30 years, and now they're getting ready to retire. And so what people don't realize is that when we don't have anyone trucking, the life that we enjoy, the comforts that we enjoy is going to cease to exist if it's not someone hauling this stuff. Hospitals, schools, businesses, everything. Food is dependent upon truck drivers. So what do you think we could do, or what needs to be done? I know we're talking about the pay, and I really with the healthcare. So what can we do for ones in support of to keep more truckers in the driver's seat?
Yes, that's basically, what I've been passionate about lately, as far as going to the truck stops, because I feel like the way that we can combat that is trucker, not just appreciation, but truck awareness. You have people that sit high up in companies that don't know what it is to be an actual trucker. So if we can get those people to come out of those offices, get in a truck, ride and drive the truck, then they can see, and then they can be more aware, like, hey, you guys really go through a lot. Let me start paying y'all a little bit more than what I've been paying y'all.
I agree with you on that. And speaking of you being at truck stops and everything like that, and that's another thing. This man just don't say this. He is about this. He literally go to truck stops all over. I like to call it Trucker Voices or Trucker Chronicles. I know that's what he call it. He don't call it that, but I like this Trucker Chronicles, okay? He get news. And so what we'd like to do is just share a quick video showing a little bit of what you do when you go to these trucking stops, because I feel that this episode, you guys, is really for all of you, all the truckers right now. So I hope you can honk your horns for those of you who listening in, for those of you who are watching. Don't you watch when we drive. This is for you. So right now, that's the honk. So right now, show the video so that they can see what CDL Shorty actually does when he goes out to these various truck stops.
What's going on? It's your boy CDL Shorty. So I'm up here at the truck stop, just chilling, about to make a video, and ran into one of my students, man. Well, he wasn't really my student, but he went to the school that I was training at, and I just was talking to him when we met. But tell the people what you was telling me.
Oh, like this man right here is the man. Like, we're just there chilling, having a great time. I was having a hard time doing my straight back. And this gentleman right here told me one thing. He said, chase the tire. Wherever you see that trailer swinging to, that's where you turn your steering. There's learning to drive a truck, man. Like, once he told me that, it sticks, and that's it, man. So from then, that's it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man.
No,
I
appreciate you. Good to see you too, man.
You, man.
Very good. It was good to see him. We just noticed each other. He just ran up on me and was like, hey, I remember you. So, hey, always make a difference in somebody's life, all right?
Absolutely.
And speaking of you making a difference, we want to formally announce that Avante K. Jackson, but we call him CDL Shorty over here, represent for the trucking industry. He is officially a brand ambassador for Shetrucking. So not only is he out doing things for himself, but he's also bringing that same love, that same energy, that same transparency, and also allowing to share your voices, not just on his platform, but also through Shetrucking as our new brand ambassador. So welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time to pour into our community. And something some people may think, oh, it's simple backing up a truck. No. I mean, in our community alone, we hear so many women like, how do I back? That is one of the main things. So just you taking the time to explain to him, give him a little tip on how to back up, that alone could have made him or broke him in regards to whether or not he stayed into trucking or not. Because if you can't back a truck, you can't drive the truck. So thank you for taking the time. So let's jump back into the pay, because I know it's a great difference between pay for truckers years ago, if we go back 10, 15 years versus what truckers are getting paid now. And many people feel like, okay, this person get paid this person get paid that. It don't matter if this person get paid this amount of money or this group of people. But the irony of it is, if one person accepts a low pay rate, that could become
Yes.
the synapses of everyone getting low pay. So it's not really about one person, it's about the collective. And so that's why we keep saying, don't accept the low rates, don't accept the low pay, because it's more than just about you. It's about everyone's lives around this transportation chain. So do you feel like that's one of the problems that we're having with not having the right type of pay for our truck drivers?
So that is a fully loaded question. I'm gonna break it down if you don't mind. So with that is, first of all, if you're a company driver, we have a rule in the industry that says a good dispatcher will make you or break you. Not only a good dispatcher, but a very good work ethic. So let's say if you got a very good dispatcher, but you're a driver that has a very poor work ethic. And I hold my students accountable too, because when I talk to them after they graduate and they tell me about their pay, one of the first things I always ask them is, well, how many miles are you running? And then they'll tell me, and if it's good, I'll be like, okay. If it's not good, I'll be like, and then I'll say, well, what's your work ethic like? Or do you have what we call a drive day, which means you shut them doors and you just concentrate on driving all day? Because if you're stopping every 5, 10, 30 minutes, you're not getting, you're not going to get good pay because you're not getting good miles. Your dispatcher has to be able to rely on you. Also, that could go into pay. Also, with that being said, if you got a dispatcher that's not a good dispatcher, that can go into pay. So it's different variables that go into low pay. But for the majority of it, you have people out there that are doing right, that are working hard and coming home with $750, $800 paychecks. That's just not right. About the off-duty pay, there's people that get detention pay and stuff like that. At these shippers, the shippers, they got 2 hours to get you in and out. If they don't get you in and out within 2 hours, then it goes on to detention pay. But the detention pay is like $25, maybe $30 an hour. So that can go into low driver pay as well. And then I also talk a lot about, I've caught a lot of flack for this, but at the end of the day, like I tell everybody, I cannot sell my soul, because at the end of the day, I'm a driver and I'm for the drivers. So with that being said, box trucks, you got to think, and I've talked to some drivers at the truck stop about this on my YouTube channel. I made a whole video about it. You got to think, a few years ago, maybe let's say 10 years ago, the box truck game wasn't booming and popping like it is now. So you got to ask yourself, why is it? Well, there's two variables, two reasons. Number one, mega carriers are not paying well. So guess what? Everybody's going to go get a box truck to start their own LLC so they can cut the middleman out. That's number one. Then number two, you have these shippers that are mad at the truckers and don't want to pay us. So they'll take that full load that's supposed to go on the 18-wheeler and they'll chop it in half and they'll give it to the box trucks. And the box trucks think that they're actually making good money because they spend less fuel. But when you actually look at it, they're not making good money. So they actually drive the 18-wheeler rates down. So, I just try to bring more transparency. And there's a lot of truck drivers out there that feel, how I feel. I just like to bring it to the forefront, because that is part of the reason why we keep getting cheap freight, as well as brokers. Brokers are taking 40% off the top for doing nothing. But you have us truckers out there that will accept it. Like for years, orange juice coming out of Florida has been cheap for years. And we keep taking it, and the brokers keep giving it to us because they know that we'll take the orange juice just to get out of Florida for the fuel. We need to stop that.
You're right. That's a loaded question in two parts. So I thank you for taking the time to break that down because it's more than one side, or it's like it's two sides to a coin, it's two sides to the story. But breaking it down now, I understand it a whole lot better. Because if you constantly stopping, then the miles is going to be looking funny. And so that's why your money looking funny, because your miles look funny. So we had to take into all those variables. But with that being said, I just saw where the comment popped up from one of our supporters and sponsors, which is Nate Johnson. So thank you, Nate, for tuning in today. He actually supports Shetrucking in so many ways as an advisor, and gives so much valuable insight. Make sure to check out his show, Driving Forward Podcast.
Yes.
And go ahead and listen to that. That's another great place to get some good trucking, transportation news, what's going on within the industry.
Yes, it is. Not to cut you off, but Mr. Johnson is a very, very humble, loving guy. I love his channel, his podcast. And, with my health situation, he takes it upon himself to go out of his way he'll call me and text me and check on me. So, Mr. Johnson, thank you so much.
Yes, he's so sweet because he is like an avid supporter of Shetrucking. And so we're so, so grateful for his support. And so we're grateful for everybody that support. And speaking of, we also have a platinum sponsor for this podcast, Taft's The Ring. So thank you to Taft's Fat The Ring for being a platinum sponsor for the Shetrucking podcast. So make sure to check them out if you are a company looking for someone to do fattening for you. So thank you. Make sure to check them out at www.tafs, that's TAFS.com. And so now we're going to get back into the conversation in regards to the truck. We was talking about the pay. And then you was giving some factors that can determine whether or not they receive the proper pay or not, because it's not only the trucking companies, but the drivers have some responsibilities as well. And so if they do their part and they're still not getting paid right, then that's a problem. That's a problem if they driving. So that's when the problem. So let's talk a little bit about drivers. Do you feel that they should get paid for off-duty pay? Do you feel like they should pay for that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I do, because this is the way I look at it. You're away from your house every single day. What's the old saying? If your wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. So, it costs a lot to not only be off duty, to take your 10-hour sleep break at a truck stop. Okay. This is why I say I believe in it, because to take your 10-hour sleep break at a truck stop, every truck stop in America now has at least the minimum 50 reserved parking spots. Will cost between $15 to $20 to park there for one night. So let's say if you spend on your 10-hour break, let's say if you spend $15 for a reserved parking spot, you out 15. Then you spend another $10 to go eat. Then let's say if you don't have any shower credits on your card, now you spend another $17 for a shower. Then you got to do laundry. Now you spend another $10. By the time you wake up the next morning and you just spent one night at a truck stop, you already spent almost $40 to $50. And you're off duty the whole time. So yes. And then another reason why truckers' health is down is because a bag of candy will cost $2.99 in a truck stop. But a bag of fruit will cost $7.99. So that's why I believe, yes, we should get paid for off-duty time. That whole time we're out on the road, we should get paid.
I agree with you. And when you break it down like that, you can see why. And the price of health. Because when you think about it's $2.99, if you're already not getting paid properly, he said, always, brother. So when you think about not getting proper pay, and then then maybe you have a family that you have to take care of. And even if, say for example, even if you don't have a family, any children or a significant other, you still have to take care of yourself. So you have bills and different things that you have to pay. And so if you have to pick between, if you're watching your money and you have to pick between the $2.99 and the $7.99, logically we know we need to do the $7.99. We need the fruit. But if you don't have enough to stretch to make it to that point, then 9 times out of 10, the person gonna do the $2.99. And that is creating a lot of the health problems that our truckers are facing because they're driving these extensively long hours, not having access to healthy, fresh fruits and vegetables. And some people just, let's keep it real, don't know how to cook on this on the road. So they need to have access at these. Now, I must admit, trucking stops have some of the best pizza I have ever tasted, the best hot dogs I have ever tasted in my life. When I go out and travel, I look for a truck stop if I'm, to go get some food.
Right.
Now, with that being said, it's not always the healthiest, but if you want a good pizza, you can go to that truck stop. But think about you doing and you're driving day in and day out, and that is your regular food schedule. Think about all that sitting down, that pain on your back from all that bouncing around, which tearing up your spine, by the way.
Yeah.
And you don't have access to food to regenerate, healthy food to regenerate at a good price. So let's go in and talk about, because this is a big problem with the truckers. What are some things that these truck stops as people we can do to kind of help with that and them having access to quality healthcare while they're on the road? Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I do know that right along I-10, like that little stretch from Baton Rouge all the way to Houston, they do have like some trucker minute clinics and stuff at the truck stops. I did notice that when I was out there. But still, it's like if they want us to get a medical card, right? When we get the medical card, them things cost $90 to $100 a pop. I mean, you want us to get a medical card, take our health seriously, but then you give us bad food options. So with that being said, I think that we need to get together with the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, and, see who's putting these McDonald's and Subways and all these restaurants in here and see if we can get some healthy restaurants in there.
Yeah, I agree with you. One good thing, we have a good partnership with My Garden and Doc. They actually have access to telehealth, which means that a trucker can actually go in and call, and it's like $27 a month. For those of you who want to know more about it, you just go to Shetrucking.com and click the business advisory. You'll be able to get prescriptions. You can be able to check in. You do not have to drive being sick anymore, and that is $27 per month. That includes your entire household. So make sure to go check out My Guardian Doc today. They have an extensive array of services, and this is what I like about My Guardian Doc, is that they actually have a piece that addresses your mental health, because one talks about the mental health of the trucker. I mean, it's not easy being away from your family at long stints of time. That's a lot of time by yourself.
Yes.
That's a lot of time by yourself. No matter how amazingly awesome you is, that's a lot of time.
Right.
So they have that mental health facet, which is so important. And you guys, I also want to give a shout out to Loyalty Logistics. Make sure to check them out because they are actually supporting Shetrucking as well. So Loyalty Logistics, #why loyal? Because they loyal. Check them out. Check them out today. With all that being said, so we talked about the health. We talked about healthy food options, and that we probably going to have to just do some things to advocate going to the top of the food chain and come on down, so that people can actually have these resources and have at least have options that are not going to break the bank at the end of the day. So for many people who watch, and we have people who's watching who want to start trucking, and they're curious about how do they get a CDL. So is it easy for a person to get a CDL? Because we have a lot of people out here, and we probably get on this later. Some people out here, I call them Instagram fantasy drivers.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
They do that. They're fantasy football. They fantasy trucking.
Yes.
Okay, we're talking about real CDL. So how would a person who want to be get a real CDL, be a real job, not just this social media stuff? How would they
Right.
go about getting a CDL?
Right. Okay. Well, thank you for asking me that. Well, there's a couple of ways. Number one, and first and foremost, you have to have not a clean driving record, but you can't have any tickets or anything on your regular license when you first start off. Then after that, you can either call a major carrier like Swift, Snyder, people like that, Stevens. That's how I got into trucking. I called Swift, and they paid for me back in 2015 to get into trucking. But you can call them, sign a contract, they'll pay for it, all of that. Only thing is you have to say that you'll work for them for 2 years to pay that contract off. That's one way you can get into it. Another way is you can pay cash. I think it's like the cheapest one is like $3,900. You can pay cash, or you can finance. You can finance through a credit union, or if that school has financing, you can finance through them. Or your state, whichever state you live in, you have WIOA programs. You have NC Works, which is in North Carolina, which is a workforce program, unemployment. And also a lot of people don't know, which I wish they would advertise more of this too, but Goodwill will actually pay for a lot of people to get their CDLs as well through their career center. So there are many different avenues that a person can take to get a CDL. And once you take one of those avenues, make sure you do your research and pick the right trucking school for you, because most of them, if not the majority of them, are nasty. They don't have the proper equipment. They want you to do pre-trips on crappy equipment that wouldn't even pass a pre-trip. If you sign up and pay extra for the manual, 9 times out of 10, that manual will break down on you while you're in school, and then they'll throw you in the automatic. And then if you graduate with the automatic, then you have an automatic restriction on your license, which then would say that you can only drive automatic trucks. So if you spend extra money, you want to go to a school that's actually going to take you seriously, and that's not going to play with your time and play with your money.
We have a question. How do you get Goodwill to help out?
Just go to the career center. You go to the career center, and you will sign up for different careers and ask them about a CDL program. And 9 times out of 10, they have that. They don't advertise it, which I don't know why, but they have that because Goodwill has their own trucks, their own 18-wheelers that they ship stuff from distribution to distribution. I just don't know why they don't do more advertisement on that, but they definitely have it. So all you got to do is just ask them.
What about the WIOA program?
WIOA is like workforce. It's like workforce / unemployment. So with them, a lot of people, if you go between January and March of every year, that's when the government gives them free money, and you'll go to them, you'll get a free voucher. Now with that, you have to say that you're either unemployed or you make under a certain amount of money. And then once they run your background and everything, and if you meet their qualifications, they'll give you a free voucher to go to CDL school.
See, you guys, you learn something new every day if you didn't already know that. So thank you so much for sharing. And you know what? I see Goodwill trucks on the road all the time. I never even really thought about it. I never even really thought about it. It seems like they should have a little commercial somewhere, but they don't.
Right, they don't.
That's why we have CDL Shorty. I told you he's the Trucker Chronicles. He had the room.
Yeah, and one reason I can speak about the Goodwill is I've had 2 students that came from them. So I didn't know it until I met the students, and then one of the students, it was a female, and she was like, "Yeah, I came from Goodwill," and I was like, "What?" And then she started telling me about it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna look into it." And then about 3 months after that, they sent another student. I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, Goodwill's got something going on. I don't know why they don't talk about it though."
So speaking of that, people saying, what are you talking about with these students? You kept saying students. Okay, let's talk about a little bit about the training that you provide for individuals, because we have so many new truckers. Do you teach your truckers or your students that's with your training how to back up and all that good stuff? What all do you train them with?
Okay, so this will go back to what I was talking about as far as how to get a CDL and picking the right school for you. So one thing about me is I'm different, and I pride myself on being different. When I first got into teaching in 2021, I realized that it's a very lack of respect between the actual student and the school that's supposed to be providing a business for the student. Some of the trucking schools I've been at has really been a very lack of respect. So what I've done was I went ahead and took it upon myself to go above and beyond. I treat the students like they're adults. You know, sometimes you go to a trucking school and they don't treat the students like they're adults. They treat them like they're little kids, little babies, and I don't like that. Then I go above and beyond. I not only teach them the pre-trip and drill it in their head, because when you go to trucking school, there's three sections. You got the pre-trip, you got the backing, and then you got the road test. After that, you get your CDL and you're on your road to success. But within those three, they don't teach you anything else. So I teach the students how to fill up the truck. You know, a lot of students will come to CDL school and they don't know that a truck has two tanks on it. So I teach them how to fill up the truck. I'll take them to a weigh station, a real DOT weigh station, and DOT doesn't bother trucking schools. So I'll take them to a weigh station, and a weigh station has two scales. DOT will let me get on the scale in the back, and I put them on the scale, and I'll stop and I'll say, hey, this is what DOT is looking for. This is the weight that's on your steers, 12, 34, 34. You know, they'll ask questions and stuff like that. Then I'll show them how to slide the tandems. Trucking schools don't do that. Then I'll take them inside the truck stop and show them the showers. I'll show them the laundry room. I show them what it's really like to be a trucker. Then I'll take them to a truck stop scale, a CAT scale. I put them on that, and out of my own pocket, I will pay for a scale ticket, and then I will break it down and show them this is what you need to do and how you need to get a scale ticket. On your scale ticket, this is what you need to look for. Also, get your Loves card activated. Every time you get 50 gallons of fuel, you get a free shower. You know, in the pre-trip, truck driving schools like to talk about you must drain your air tanks daily. They talk about it, but they don't show the students. I go up under the truck and I show the students, hey, this is what your air tanks look like. Pull that. I'll have the student, hey, pull that little nozzle right there. I did it to one of my female students, and the air hit her in the face and she got scared, but she got that real world training. And last but not least, I'll take them to an actual truck stop. And this is what really got me a lot of respect amongst truckers. They see a CDL school pull into a truck stop, and you have an instructor that's out there teaching these students and letting these students back up between real trucks. When real truckers saw me do that, and we're holding up traffic and everything, but when real truckers saw me do that, I literally had about 3 or 4 of them each time I do it come up to me, and they'll shake my hand and they'll tell me that I'm doing it the right way, and they'll give the credit to the school because they see the school's name. Because at the end of the day, you not only learn how to back at the truck stop, but it gets real whenever you get that CDL and you graduate. So I just take pride in what I do.
Yes, and so that's what I love your approach. I say those real life skills that they're going to need in order to be a successful truck driver. It's some things that a book can't teach you. You have to have real life experience. And I know that many truckers wish they had that, because you're going to have to learn it one way or another. But it's better to learn it when you are just a rookie versus you're out on the road by yourself and have to figure it all out. And so that is something that's going to help them in the long run. So do you have any tips that you would give for new drivers? Because we have some new drivers that's coming into the field now. So what are some tips that you can give them?
Okay, so my tips that I tell a lot of people is, first and foremost, go OTR. Go OTR. A lot of people don't like to hear that because they're looking for that home daily position, that local position. A lot of mega carriers have made it easy for local positions now. that pay great, but local positions, it's a lot of work with local positions. So I tell them to go OTR, and what OTR is it's called over the road. And over the road, which means you'll touch all of the lower 48 states. If you have a passport, you can cross the border. And what a lot of students don't know is most of these companies out here will pay you extra to cross the border, to deliver freight to Mexico or Canada. So I tell them to go over the road because you not only get your experience, but you need to learn how to drive in inclement weather. You need to learn how to drive in the snow, in the mountains. You need to learn how to drive out in Phoenix, Arizona, in the desert, when it's 110, 120. You got to make sure your truck doesn't overheat. You need to learn how to drive through a monsoon. Monsoon is a dust storm that only happens out in Arizona. You need to learn how to drive in the Northeast when it's very tight in Boston, New York, New Jersey, stuff like that. What I've noticed, touching back on what you were saying about the Instagram truckers, is trucking has gotten very lazy to where a lot of people have made it easy to stay within one state. I follow a couple of people on Instagram, and I found out just recently that they only truck in Florida and in South Carolina. They don't go out of Florida. They don't go out of South Carolina. And I'm like, how does that happen? But okay. And then I tell them after that, go regional. I did a month, not a month. I did a year and 2 months OTR with Swift. Then after that, I left Swift and I did 4 years regional, Midwest, and regional is within a certain amount of states. So I did all of Texas, all of Oklahoma, all of Louisiana, all of New Mexico. It was only supposed to be 4 states, but every once in a while they'll run me up to like Illinois or Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, every once in a while. But I did that and it got me home every weekend, and I was making roughly $1,100 to $1,200, and that was good money for me at the time. But then as I started talking to my brothers and my family and everything, they were telling me, like, for what you're doing, you should be making at least 18. So that's when I decided to take another route. But I tell a lot of them, go get your experience, learn how to become a real trucker, learn the industry. Don't do lease purchase, but don't jump out there like that. Learn the industry first, and then go and buy your own truck. Don't do lease purchase, because a lot of companies don't tell you about that big balloon payment at the end, and they want that truck note every single Friday. If you go to an actual bank or finance company, they want that truck note once a month. So yeah, that's my tip. And always, try to eat healthy, cook on the truck, things like that. Find safe parking, things like that.
Well, just that tip alone, because the hot question in the industry is, you hear some of these people, I call them, like I said, the Instagram drivers. They tell you, go buy a truck right now. This is the time to buy a truck. When everybody who's really in the industry knows this is not the time to buy no truck.
Nope, freight's still low. Diesel still high.
Why this is really not a good idea to buy a truck in our current economy. Not saying in the future it might be different, but we're talking right now to now. Why would you say it's not a good time to purchase a truck?
Well, there's many factors. This economy is terrible right now. Not only that, but you got freight is low, diesel is high right now. Plus insurance, insurance alone. That's why me as an instructor and other instructors tell students, go get your experience. Go get 6 months to a year of experience, because with you being a new driver, you're going to pay $3,100 to $3,500 in insurance alone. So you're basically going to be running freight up and down the road as a slave. So
to pay for that truck.
Yeah, definitely. So you want to have a CDL before getting insurance. You want to have that experience under your belt before getting the insurance. So, those are my tips, because it's just not a good time, because unless you can find dedicated freight or military freight,
Mhm.
It's not really going to be a lot of money out here right now. And plus, a little bit of money that you might get, guess what? You got brokers out here now that you got to look out for, because they're taking 40% off the top for doing nothing, for finding you a load. They're taking 40.
Mhm. Wow. And so, for everyone who's been asking that question, he is a real truck driver. He's out speaking. He's not only a truck driver, but he also is a trucker instructor. He goes out in the field on a regular basis, so he knows what he's talking about. I know many times we can get so caught up in what we see on social media, and you feel like because you have this vision, this dream to do XYZ, uh understand that, because we all do. We have these aspirations, but you want to be wise with your money right now. So for those that really want to make an impact and also be wise with your money, this is not the time to purchase a truck. It may change in the future, but hey, follow CDL Shorty and look at his videos on YouTube. He the chronicles for the truck. He the chronicles. And I want to give a shout out to all the real CDL instructors and trainers and all the CDL schools who are really working hard to try to combat all of this misinformation and misknowledge that's going out today, because social media can be good, but also it can be a two-edged sword, because you have people who are really giving how it is, and that's why I back and pull for Shetrucking. Give it to you like it is. But then you also have the other side that you need more information. They give you bits and pieces, so you can never get a full story on how to do X, Y, and Z, or they're not being totally transparent on how they really make their money.
Yes.
And so many people I have heard losing their homes because they put a second mortgage out in order to do this and that, and
Yes.
they're homeless for reasons that they shouldn't be. So I want you to do you have, because I really think highly of your recommendations, make sure you tell everybody about what you do, your school, with your training, but do you have any other CDL schools that you would like to mention that's really, up to par, where people can go to and get an education? Because I know they can get it from you, but is there any more?
Well, I mean, there's a few, out of North Carolina. One called CL Driving School in Indian Trail, North Carolina. There's another one that just started up called R&K Training Academy in Gastonia, North Carolina. There's one called Three Rivers out of Georgia with Miss Michelle. Those are really the only three that I'm really aware of. I have students, or not students, but I have just regular people that will hit me up on my YouTube page and tell me about other trucking schools. One reason why I'm so hesitant to really shout out a lot of schools, because the same schools or the same thing that I'm talking about as far as schools taking your money, not taking pride in a student, equipment's being nasty and broken down. So I've noticed that there's a lot of them out there. So that's why I don't really shout out a lot of schools, because I just want people to do their research. And I tell everybody, if those schools, if the equipment is nasty, if they're not going to take time, to teach you extra things, if they're if the instructors are always bragging about going home early and all that stuff, I tell students stay away from. You don't have to spend your money with that school, because for years these schools have been getting away with bad practices, bad training. V Lee on YouTube, she put a trucking school out, and it's in Austell, Georgia. I'm not gonna say the name, but she put them on blast because she went back to get her manuals and she opened the truck door and the truck door almost fell apart. It was nasty. It was held on by duct tape, and then the whole stick shift that you're supposed to learn how to shift on, the top of it was broken, so it's literally just a stick right there. And I'm like, this is a top trucking school in Atlanta. Like, they got a 5-star review, and I'm just like, how? And one of the things I've learned with these 5-star reviews is there are people that's out there that will pay a company for fake reviews. So you have to be aware of that too. Yeah, fake reviews. Yeah, it's a thing. Look it up. It's a thing.
No, I believe you, but dog, like really, people, we're talking. This is like serious business. I mean,
Yes.
being on the road, being a truck driver is not something that should ever be faked, because people's lives are at jeopardy every time a truck come on the road, and vice versa. Every time a truck driver go on the road, they have to watch out for all the pedestrians who like to get in front of. Let me just say this right here real quick. Please, people, if you're driving a regular vehicle, stop getting in front of trucks, driving slow and stopping on your brakes.
Yeah, it takes a football field to stop that truck.
Yes. So listen, they can't stop on the dime like we can do with a regular Jeep or truck, or I mean a regular truck, or, a regular people truck, not the old 18-wheeler
Yes.
or a car. So make sure that you give them the respect, the truck drivers the respect on the road, because they're doing their job. Let them do their job without us getting all this. So if you see an 18-wheeler, respect them, give them enough room. You see them trying to turn in on the street, back up. Let them get
Yes.
in. Like, don't
Yes.
sit there and say, I wish they would hit me. No, bag up your car and let them
Yeah.
get in, because they can be holding some life-saving equipment, food, or whatever. And due to you not want to back up can cause a holdup, because trust and believe, if your family member needs something, life and death, and it's on the back of a truck, you will want to move out the way.
You know,
So,
Miss Tina, I'm glad that you said that, because I would like to capitalize on that.
mhm.
You know, we don't go out of our way to be bad people. You know, us as truckers, we're the same people like you. We go home to our families. We like to tuck our kids in bed at night and stuff like that. So we don't go out of our way to be bad people, but society has made us look like we're bad people. And let me expand on that. I used to run the I-10 corridor a lot down in Louisiana and Texas. And if you're on the I-10 corridor, man, you'll look up and you'll see big billboards of insurance companies advertising, hey, if you've been hit by a truck, call us. We'll get you the biggest payday, blah, blah, blah. And it's this one guy called the Texas Hammer, and he's been killing truck drivers for years. And that's actually his brand. They go out of their way to look for truck drivers as doing bad. So that's another reason why I took it upon myself, and God gave me this blessing to fight for actual truckers, because every which way you look, we don't get enough credit. We're always blamed for stuff, and it's just not right, and it's not fair.
No, it's not fair. And that's why we put it on blast today. You don't got to say it. I'm going to say it, because I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the truckers that keep this world going, even down to the military, because the truckers have to haul the ammunition, all the different things. So with that being said, what are just so people who are not a truck driver, who are not in support of or don't know anything about the trucking industry, what are some things that truckers haul so that they can get it in layman's terms, so they can understand how essential truck drivers are to our life?
Okay, that's a good question as well. So to put it in layman's terms, we haul everything from your clothes that you get from Walmart, your groceries you get from Walmart. Man, the weirdest load I've ever picked up was my rookie year when I was working for Swift, and they sent me a load and just sent me directions. They didn't send me anything else. They sent me coordinates. I put my coordinates on my GPS, and it was out in the middle of a field in Arizona. And I had a drive-in trailer at the time, and they packed that drive-in trailer with hay that you put on the ground, hay that horses eat. And it was actually going to a distribution center. They was actually going to measure it out, put it in bales, and they was going to ship it out to the local Home Depots. So we carry everything from hay, your grass products, your field products, your housing products, your cleaning products, clothes that you got on your back, everything from food, nutrition, hospital equipment, everything. Truckers we carry cars. You got car haulers out there. So that brand new car that somebody might be driving that's watching this, guess what? It came off of a truck. It had to get transported from the factory to where you bought it from. It came off of a truck.
So you guys, with all that being said, please show some love to our truckers, okay? And show respect to them when you're on the road. Don't be trying to drive in front of them and slow down, because trucks can't stop on a dime like a regular vehicle can. If you see that they need to come into a park and they turning, you know, they have to go out. Make sure you back up. If you can back up, show some respect, because literally everything that we have, from our food to our equipment to businesses that we run to educational books to medical supplies to animal things, because I always got these fur babies now. Listen, everything that we need, cell phones, it comes on the back of some truck, some haul. So keep that in mind the next time that you see a trucker and they're away from their families in order to help us have the life that we want to have. And they sacrifice for us every single day. We thank our military for everything that they're doing, but we need to make sure that we give the same respect that we give for our men in uniforms. We need to give the same respect for the ones that's driving these trucks, okay? Because literally, they keep the world turning around. And that goes from the higher level all the way to the bottom. And if you don't get anything from this, all my truckers that's watching and listening, we appreciate you. We thank you for everything that you're doing, the sacrifices that you make on a day-to-day basis, the choices that you have to make. We greatly appreciate everything.
Yes, a lot of people like they like Drake, they like Beyonce, they like Toby Keith, all those. When your favorite artists go on tour, guess who's carrying that stage for them to perform on? It comes off of a truck.
Exactly. So you want to be having your Beyonce and your Usher and your Usher.
That's right.
You run for that truck. Y'all want to have that good old Super Bowl watching Alicia Keys rounded up on Usher there. Everybody got all a little you want to have that.
That's right. It came off a truck.
And so what we want to talk about a little bit more we already talked about that, but I want to just talk a little bit more about driver safety, because we laughed a little bit right now. We're going to get back on some driver safety. So driver safety inspections, levels, and the importance of the pre-trip, because some people may not be doing their pre-trips. So let's talk about why they need to be doing this. Why is this important? And these safety inspections, why they're so important for truck drivers.
So, you know how earlier in the interview I said that I always keep in touch with my old students. Mm-hmm. I just spoke with one of my old students probably about 2 days ago and just checked on him, see how he was doing. And he actually told me a real sad story that he's not in trucking anymore. And I asked him why. And one of the things he told me was, see, once you graduate CDL school and you go to these mega carriers, they put you with a trainer. You stay with the trainer for about a month or two, and the trainer teaches you the ropes, because after CDL school, you still have a lot to learn about trucking. So that trainer is responsible for teaching you the ropes, teaching you how it goes, all of that. So you have to do your pre-trip every single day. I mean, I don't care if it's cold, rainy, you just got to do it. When I was out there, I sucked it up and I did it. This trainer that he was with wasn't doing a pre-trip. And the days that he did do the pre-trip, he was only skimming over it. So one day, here recently, my student and the trainer actually was rolling down the road, and the mechanism that hooks the kingpin and the locking jaws to the trailer, they're supposed to hook around like that so that trailer doesn't come off of that tractor. Well, those springs and those locking jaws can go bad, and they have to be changed every so often. That's a lot of things that people don't know if you're not a mechanic. I had to learn that on the road myself. But they can go bad often. And when they go bad, when you go to hook up to a trailer, when you go to hook up to a trailer, these locking jaws won't latch. They won't latch. So they went to hook up to their trailer, and it didn't latch. So they thought that it did because they didn't do an actual pre-trip inspection that day. They, thank God, they made it all the way to their destination and that trailer didn't come off. But when they made it to the destination to back up, it came off right in the parking lot. And my old student told me that their company let him go. They let him go. They didn't let the trainer go. They let him go because the trainer blamed it on him. Now, how does that happen when you're the trainer? You're supposed to be teaching the student an actual pre-trip. So that's how important pre-trips are, because if that trailer would have came off while they were on the highway, that trailer could have killed a family. It could have killed someone. And that's how detrimental an actual pre-trip inspection is.
Wow. I love the way you speak. You speak in illustrations. So it remind me of Jesus in a little bit, because he spoke and said without an illustration, he will not speak to the people, because it actually helps us be able to have a visual picture of what is going on. And so when you did that demonstration, people who don't have any knowledge about trucking, they will be able to understand that. And so for those of you who are trucking now, please do your pre-trip. Yes. Because it can make a difference, not only dealing with your livelihood of being able to keep your job, but most importantly, you don't want to have blood on your hands for being careless and someone loses their life, including yourself. Right. Including yourself. So this is the importance of safety, and thank you for that illustration. Is there anything else you would like to say? Because if not, I have some things that I would like to say. And I would like to thank you for being on the Shetrucking podcast today.
No, I just want to thank you guys for having me. I'm very passionate, and I wish the best for everyone out there that's listening. And if you're going to do a job, just do it right. Kobe Bryant had a saying once, and I actually watched this morning. He said one of the reasons why he was so great, and a lot of people thought that he was closed off and everything, is because he didn't like to work with a lot of lazy people. And he saw people that were on his team that were coming to the gym late and they would leave early. And then a lot of people will say, well, why you don't pass us the ball? And Kobe was like, nah, bro. I just witnessed you come in the gym yesterday late as hell, and you left early, and you think I'm going to trust you with a last second shot? So your work ethic is everything in life. If you don't take pride in something, get out of that industry and find something that you take pride in and that you love.
Wow. That's some great. So thank you, CDL Shorty, for allowing us some time, and also giving so many great tips for the rookie driver ones who's just beginning, and even for ones who maybe been in the game a long time, but they just got lackadaisical. Maybe they're saying, oh, I've been doing this for 10, 20 years. I already know I don't need to do a pre-check into so many miles. No, you need to be doing it on the regular.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you for sharing all the information. Thank you for also being so hands-on as a CDL trainer, taking your students out with that real life application, letting them see, letting them do, letting them feel, so that they can be better, effective drivers on the road. And that goes along with making sure that the safety is good, because if you have a driver that is well equipped, they will be safe. And so thank you for everything you're doing. And thank you for taking the time for, I call you the Trucking Chronicles, I know. That's who I call you. For taking the time to go out to the trucking stops and actually sharing the voices of our drivers, men and women, that are doing it every single day and sacrificing on behalf of all of us, including yourself, sacrificing as well. So thank you so much. And we're so happy, everyone, to announce that CDL Shorty is now one of our new brand ambassadors. So this is not the first nor the last time you will be seeing him. So if you love this episode, which I know you did, you'll be seeing some more of him and content coming very, very soon. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you so much for being a featured guest.
Thank you guys for having me.
It was really our pleasure. So we would like to give a special thank you. Yes, a special thank you to GLCS with Nate Johnson, Brandon for B Logistics Loyalty. And we would also like to give thank you to My Guardian Doc. If you need some insurance, $27 a month for you to go ahead and get your entire family covered. And if you find yourself in a crunch and you need some legal help, we have Miss Sue in the building to be able to help all of you for on the legal side. So to find out all the different things that we do and all the resources that we currently have available for you today, go to Shetrucking.com and make sure to click the business directory so that you can see what's going on. We would like to thank everyone
While we lean on our decades of proven industry knowledge and expertise, Canal is continually moving forward as a disruptor and innovator in the marketplace. We have developed Canal Test Drive with that same forward-thinking mindset. Our telematics-based pay-as-you-roll insurance product is pioneering the future of trucking insurance, one fleet at a time. We know that starting a new venture in the trucking industry is a complex process. That's why we offer Canal Test Drive, an innovative solution designed to help new commercial trucking operations simplify and manage their insurance costs based on actual miles driven, never for idle time. Let us take the guesswork out of your insurance costs with our simplified pay-as-you-roll approach.
All right, and we are back. Make sure to check us out on Match and register so that we can see you guys at Match. We for the 21st, March 21st to the 23rd in Louisville, Kentucky. We're going to be at booth 40652. We would love to see you. That's booth 40652. We also have this amazing guitar that we are raffling off for an option, yes, from Ashley McBride. We have a beautiful signed autograph, so we want to give her a big shout out and thank you. This guitar is absolutely gorgeous. So make sure that you register so you can possibly win this real guitar. It plays, people. It's real. Okay, so make sure that you sign up, and thank you, Ashley, for being in support of the Shetrucking Foundation. We're also currently accepting donations for the foundation, and we'll be giving away our first edition of the Shetrucking magazine at the Mats in honor of Women International Month at Mats. So make sure we are accepting donations. And this is how we're able to give it out for free for those of you who donate towards what we're doing. That's how we're able to give away for free. But we still need more donations. We still need more donations in order to be able to give away more at Mats. So if your heart is moved, then go ahead and let your fingers do the grooving by going to Shetrucking.com or scan this QR code so that you will be able to be in support of, and we would love to give you a shout out and thank you for your wonderful contribution. On that note, you guys, thank you so much for everything that you have done. Thank you for all the ones who tuned in live and for all the ones who will be watching on the replay. A special thank you to our new brand ambassador, CDL Shorty, for taking some time to share some amazing tips and also share his love and heart that he has for the trucking and transportation industry. Thank you so much for being the best part of Shetrucking Foundation. I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, one of the hosts of the Shetrucking podcast. I look forward to seeing you guys next time, same place. You guys check us out on all social media. We'll see you next time. Talk to you later. Join the She Trucking Foundation today and be a part of a supportive community of women in the trucking industry. Unlock exclusive access to valuable resources, including mentorship, educational workshops, and networking opportunities. Whether you're an experienced professional or just starting your trucking journey, She Trucking is here to empower you and help you thrive. Visit www.shetrucking.com to join us and drive your trucking career to new heights.
You strong.
DJ Tony Duff.
She gon' take care of her bitch, she truckin'. She a woman with a rig, she truckin'. She gon' take care of her kids, she truckin'. Yeah, she a boss, she do it big, she truckin'. She truckin'. She a boss, she do it big, she truckin'. She a woman with a rig, she truckin'. She truckin'. Ah.
Hi, welcome to She Trucking Podcast Show. I am Melinda. I'm going to be your host for this episode, coming to you live from my truck. We are going to have a fantastic show. A little bit about me. I am a health lifestyle coach that has been certified in health, life, and nutrition. And I've also been working in the medical field for over 25 years. And I want to empower drivers to be healthy on the road. And I am passionate about everybody getting it together and just knocking it out. I drove for almost 5 years now. Not too long after I started driving, I was overweight, and I got a pre-diabetes diagnosis, and it's what scared me healthy. I tried the traditional medical methods that we would always teach patients to do, and they would not work for me. So that's why I went to health and life coaching school, so I could figure out what works for me in the truck. And I just want to share all my knowledge. If you have any questions while you're watching this show, just throw the questions in there and I'll answer as we're going. Hey, how you doing, Joe John? Thanks for coming. And so I am so excited about this. A couple things, just a little bit about trucking and how it affects our bodies. It is saying that it takes about, if you do a full career of trucking, you can lose about 16 years of your lifespan because of the sedentary driving that we do all the time. And we just need to incorporate a little bit more movements. And one of the biggest issues that I know I had was that I would try to, it's kind of like getting a load. I would try to get to the destination instead of trip planning. And when I learned that to trip plan and break it up into small segments and just do one little thing at a time, it made a world of difference. So, anybody have any questions? Nope, no questions yet. Okay. Let's see. We can start with nutrition. So, on nutrition, there's a lot of controversy about nutrition. Anywhere from vegan to carnivore to fats are healthy, fats are unhealthy, carbs are bad, carbs are good. So I want to try to do a little bit of clarification on the nutrition portion. Carbs, carbs have gotten a really bad name lately, and there's really a lot of good carbs. And your fruits and your vegetables, those are carbs. Your breads, your pastas, those are carbs. Then you got your sugars and your sweets and your desserts, and all those are carbs. And everybody just lumps them into one big pot. And I like to do the fruits and vegetables and actually count those as fibers because they got a lot of natural fibers in them. And then your breads and your pastas and all that would be your regular carbs. And so you want to try to have as much of your good carbs and with your fibers and everything, and just minimize those other carbs that really can raise your sugars up and down. Kind of like going up the mountains in our trucks. If you're fully loaded and it's really slow, but it's going up, and then you just come down and crash. Just like we want a light load and we just want to have straight road and just have it nice and steady. That's kind of what we want to do with our blood sugars. And that's why nutrition is so important on knowing how to do that. And, if you have a food that you just absolutely love and that's what's keeping you from dieting or finding what works for you, that's where you find ways to incorporate it or try to find ways to make it just a little bit healthier. Your fats, there's a lot of healthy fats. There was a really bad study back in the 50s, and that is what started the whole health craze. And fats are bad, and then they started making all the margarines and adding sugars into all of our food, and that's when the health of America just started really declining because of that one bad study. And they're finding out that fats are actually good and they're essential, and we need to incorporate them. So if you like fried food and you just don't want to give up fried food, just find a small change you can do is don't get rid of them, because you're not going to stick to anything to getting healthier. You find a healthier oil to cook it in. So 2 of the really healthier oils is your extra virgin olive oil and your coconut oil. Coconut oil you can actually cook in a higher heat than the extra virgin. So that's just some of the little tricks that you can do resistant starch on your rices and your pastas and your potatoes. Mainly your rice and your potatoes, not so much your pastas, but it's still kind of out and to do that. But if you cook it and then you put it in a refrigerator and then you reheat it, that's what's called a resistant starch. And when you throw in that resistant starch, so instead of making your sugars go up and then crashing, it actually just goes up just a little bit. And so it's not as effective to those blood sugars because you want to try to keep them, pretty steady. If you love I like a lot of salads. I love salads. A lot of people don't. Um, your meats, you got really 5 proteins, different types of proteins, and you want to kind of increase your proteins. None of us really eat enough protein. You pretty much want to eat one protein gram per ideal body weight. So that kind of gives you an idea. It's quite a bit of protein that we should be eating. But you have your red meat, which is your cows, your porks, and all that. You have your fowl, which is your birds, your chicken, your turkey, and your duck, if you eat duck and all that. Eggs also fall into the fowl. Then you have your fish, your hard shells, your regular fish, your sardines, all that good stuff. A lot of, not a lot, but quite a few of protein. There's that is vegetarian protein. So you do have some of those. And then the last one is what I call high processed protein. That's your protein powders, that's your protein bars. All those are really high processed proteins, but I use them quite a bit because it's easy in the truck. But you definitely want to increase your protein. And another trick that I really learned on nutrition, hey, my protein drawer, yes, it is. Another really good trick to do is, before you start changing your whole nutrition value portion, you really need to know where you are. So at least 1 week, do nothing but just track of where you are. And the reason why I say that is because this will get you to know where you need to start your trip planning, where you start figuring out how many miles you're going to do in a day. And you can't do that until you know where you are. And if you track all your food for a week and do it just for knowledge base, not for judgment base, because you want to be able to gradually decrease your calorie intake. And so if you find out that you normally eat about 3,000 calories a day, you don't want to go to 1,800 calories a day to lose weight, because your body's going to be like freaking out saying, oh my God, what's going on? And it's going to start sending you all these hormones and everything and saying, you need to eat because you're not eating what you normally eat. So if you decrease it 15, 20%, it's not an exact science. You just play to see what happens. I have no idea. Yeah, I know it is quite a bit of protein. What you do is you so if you find out that you're doing 3,000 calories a day, you don't want to cut it in half. You want to do it in baby steps. So maybe do 15-20% decrease. So the 3,000, 10% be 300. So just about 500 calories less a day. And do that for a while until you get used to it and you're not like hungry all the time. And then, maybe the next week or 2 weeks or maybe even the next month, then you take another 400 or 500 calories out and gradually work your way down to where you want. You really don't want to get below 1,800 to 2,000 calories. That's what your body needs to do all the digestion, the breathing, just your normal day to day. That's your calorie intake. If you get below 1,500, that actually is where it starts messing with the hormones and everything. And your hormones is the what communicates with, so your organs communicate with each other with the hormones that they produce, and it communicates with the brain, and it sends out the signals to say that you're hungry or you're full. So that's really like nutrition in a nutshell. I I I don't know how deep to really go into this. Anybody have any questions? Sodium, salt. I like to eat daily salads. That's actually put it in a cup, and I keep it in so I can eat it while I'm driving, or instead of having a bowl, I just keep it in a cup. I add eggs and chicken to my salad to have that protein in there. And I actually eat my salads in the morning because salads have, they are higher in carbs. That way I can burn those carbs throughout the day. Carbs is like a gasoline engine. So you burn through them pretty quick, and your body will use those first because it's easier for the body to process it. Whereas fats, they take a little bit longer, and it's a slower burn, kind of like a diesel engine. It burns slower. So it takes a little bit longer, and that's why it's good to eat those later in the day. So it will hold you over until your breakfast the next day. I do a lot of meal prepping, freezer meals. When I first started, actually, let me grab something real quick. When I first started on my healthier journey, the very first thing I got was a freezer. Hold on, let's take a this real quick. The very first thing I got was a freezer and a Hot Logic Mini. And the Hot Logic Mini is like a little warmer cooker. And I started with freezer meals that you buy at the grocery store. They're healthier than fast food. And it's one thing I really firmly believe in is that, you don't have to be healthy. You don't have to do the healthiest thing. Just do one little thing a little bit healthier, and then after later on, maybe incorporate something else that's just a little bit healthier. So freezer meals, according to the gurus, are not healthy, but compared to fast food and compared to truck stop food, they can be very healthy. So it just depends on that perspective of what you're comparing it to. I have what's called a Hot Logic Mini. And if you're watching this on video, this is what it looks like. And the ones that's not watching it on video, it's just like, it looks like an insulated bag. And what it has on the bottom of the bag is a warmer plate. And then you just plug it into an inverter, and you can put it in, dry for 2 or 3 hours. You can dry for 5 hours. It won't overcook it. And it would just keep it in there. It'll warm it up, cook it up. So I'll put it in, I'll dry for 2 or 3 hours. And then when I stop, my food is done. It's hot. It's ready. It's fresh. I don't have to stand in line. I don't have to spend $15, $20 a meal. I only spend $5 or $10 a meal. So it's a lot more cost effective. It's quicker. And then you just throw away the trash and you have a hot meal. And that's the way I started. And now I meal prep. And when I go home, I will cook several meals and then I freeze them. With that freezer Ziploc bag, you can actually stick it in the Hot Logic and it will not burn the bag. So I have hot home cooked food without having to cook. And it just takes a couple of hours, which I'll be driving while it's cooking, and it's really good. So that's nutrition. A couple of things. Is there a particular salt? Yes. So Himalayan salt. I was actually fixing to get into that salt before I got distracted. Squirrel. Himalayan salt and Celtic salt. Those are the two best salts to have. The reason being This, if you can get the Celtic salt, that's actually the better one, because it has, oh, don't quote me on the number. It has like 89, I think it is, the minerals that we need for our bodies, for everything to communicate with each other, to help those neurons talk better, and to help go into the cells and to bring in the nutrients that the cells need. So the Celtic salt is the better salt to have, but it is harder to find. The Himalayan salt is good. It has 72 or 73 of the minerals. So you see, it's just missing just a few, not as much as the Celtic, but it's still really good. Table salt, the typical white table salt that we grew up with, that has been ultra processed, and they take out so many of the nutrients in the process of it that they had to put something back in. And where do you find Celtic salt? Right now, it's been really hard to find it. Usually like health food stores or Amazon, you can find them there. You used to be able to find them in Walmart, but I haven't been able to find it lately in Walmart. So Trader Joe's, maybe Aldi's, those healthier food chains, you can probably find them in there. But the main key is, it's not so much as, potato chips. I used to have a hard time dieting because of potato chips and because of gummy worms and ice cream. Those are like my 3 weaknesses. Thing I learned about potato chips is you want to try to get the least processed as possible. So Lay's Original is a really good one. It could be cooked in a little bit healthier oil, but you still get, all it's got is the potatoes, the salt, and the oil. So it's only got the 3 things. So it's closer to, and it's not ultra processed like, say, Pringles, which is so processed they can't even put potato chips on their containers. They actually have to put crisp because it's so processed. They're not even really potato chips. So it's just finding the healthier option, and you don't have to do it all at once. So go ahead. We're going to take a break real quick. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Throw on any questions that we can touch on, and we'll be back in just a minute, and I'm going to go over a few more things.
Listen, if anybody's interested in getting into podcasting, grab this book. Go on Amazon, grab this book. It goes with me almost everywhere. This book has like a workbook. It has places you can fill it in. It tells you how to monetize your podcast. It tells you how to set it up. It tells you about sponsorships. It even, listen, go on Amazon, get this book. And this is the Bible for podcasters. Listen, it was ranked #1 in podcasting books. Look right here. Best new podcasting book by Book Authority. Right there. Boom. And a little secret. Y'all, when you grab this book, I think it's page 43. There is a code on there. Listen, you can get access to her class, her course. Get her course. It's worth hundreds of dollars. But this book is less than $50. Grab this book on Amazon. I'm telling you, I carry it everywhere. She is the best. Grab this book on Amazon.
Hey, welcome back. Yay. Okay, so we left off on nutrition. I just did like a really quick overview onto the nutrition portion. We can definitely go much deeper in a few future shows. Just let me know what you want to know, and we will definitely go that route. I do want to touch a little bit on exercise because, that's what we're supposed to do. And exercising is, I had a very negative association with the word exercise. And because I had to do it. And my inner rebel was like, no, we're not going to do it because we have to do it. And once I realized that exercise, it's not as simple as calories in, calories out. It's so much more complicated than that. But you definitely want to have purposeful movement daily. Some simple tricks that I like to do is I keep my water way down low. And the food items that I normally do, I'm going to tilt if you're watching. So up there is my upper bunk, and I have a freezer over there, and I actually have a freezer on the other side. I have 2 freezers in my truck now. But so the foods that I normally need, or the items that I use pretty regularly, I keep in the middle of the topper bunk, and I keep my water down low. And the reason being is because I want to be able to have to climb up there to get what I need daily, or I have to bend and squat to get my water that I need daily. And that incorporates more movement throughout my day that I would normally not have if it wasn't within easy reach. So that's one easy way to add into purposeful movement into your day. I like to go hiking whenever I get a chance. Tia and I, my puppy, we walk several miles a day. So the rhythm that I really found that has worked for us, and I highly encourage you just to experiment to see what works for you. But we will get up, we'll walk a couple miles, do our pre-trip, get on the road, drive for about 2.5 hours, and then we'll take a 15-20 minute break, whether it would be at a shipper's, dropping and hooking, live unloading, whatever the break, fuel stop. We will do that and walk around for at least 15-20 minutes. Then we'll go and we'll drive for another 2.5 hours, give or take. And we will do that multiple times throughout the day. And then we stop post trip, and then we'll walk for another 20-30 minutes. And throughout just that day, we usually get in about 5 or 6 miles a day. I love taking pictures of our hikes. So I do a lot of photography, which really helps bring a lot of joy to me and being able to share our journey. And then, so it gets me out of the truck, just finding little things to get out of the truck, take pictures, get out of the truck, walk, just walk around the truck. When I first started, before I got Tia, because Tia makes me get out of the truck, I would have a portable stepper that I would keep in the passenger floorboard, and I would use that to get my steps in, especially when I didn't feel safe. So that was a really big help. I've heard people having the kind of like a elliptical, but it actually folds up really small and it fits behind the seat. So there's a lot of different little things. Just, what activity do you like? It doesn't have to be anything that is strenuous. I mean, a lot of us, we think when we want to get healthy, we have to work out an hour or 2 a day. And it's not, it's just incorporating a little bit more movement throughout your day. And that little bit adds up, just like with the nutrition, don't do the whole 3,000 calories. Just, cut back just a little bit. It's just like when we get a load that goes from East Coast to West Coast. We're not going to try to do it in one day. We're going to do a little chunk, and then we're going to rest, recuperate, and then we're going to do a little chunk, rest, recuperate. And it's the same thing when you're trying to get healthier, especially here on the road. And experiment, because after you want to try something, you hear someone, let's just say, okay, say the keto diet, because a lot of people had a lot of good things about keto diet, and you want to try it. Well, try it for a week and then do an after action review. What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? What can you adapt to keep the parts that you like? Or you can just throw it away. And just say, oh, yep, that one's not for me. And then just keep experimenting, and you make your own rules to find what works for you in your truck on the road that you can stick with. And that is what healthier is. It's not being the best of the best. It's what works for you in the truck that's just a little bit healthier than what you were doing yesterday. And that is like the biggest key. Some of the questions that I came across in the Facebook group is a lot of people was asking about blood pressure, high blood pressure. One of the main things about high blood pressure is that it's actually your kidneys that regulates your blood pressure. So, and your kidneys also filter out your water and what you drink, and filters out your waste. Kidneys are also in charge of your adrenals, which we get a lot of little mini micro adrenal rushes throughout the day when people cut us off and our heart stops, like, oh my God, I can't believe I almost hit them. Or when you're pulling into a customer and you're like, oh, am I going to be able to make this back? And you feel your adrenaline kicking in. All that is on your kidneys, and your kidneys' best friend is water. But none of us likes to drink water because we're constantly having to use the bathroom, or it's just boring. And a lot of health gurus don't think you should do additives in your water. I believe if that's what it takes to get you to drink more water, put it in there. Just try to minimize the sugar. But the easiest thing with the water, it usually takes your kidneys 30 to 40 minutes to filter a bottle of water once you drink it. So it's about timing. So if you know you're going to be on the road in about an hour, go ahead and drink a bottle of water. Yes, kidneys do regulate your blood pressure. It's fascinating how that works. Your heart actually pumps it through there, but the enzymes that tells your body to have your blood pressure higher or lower is actually produced through the kidneys. And that's why we want to take care of our kidneys. It's a lot more important than besides just filtering out waste. And but time your water intake. And if you don't want to get rid of your soda because you love your soda, trust me, I used to drink 18 Dr. Peppers a day. I was a Dr. Pepper addict, and I never thought I would never drink Dr. Pepper. And I can't tell you the last time I had a Dr. Pepper. But when I first started, I would actually, on my healthier journey, I was not getting rid of my Dr. Pepper at all. And but what I did is I started incorporating a water in between my Dr. Peppers. And then just gradually over time, I just kind of increased the water and decreased the Dr. Peppers without even realizing it or making a conscious effort. It just kind of evolved naturally. And then, so that's one way to regulate, because the water also keeps your blood from getting too thick. Just like exercise and movement, it has a lot to help with your happy hormones in your brain, and your calves are very important also in your circulatory system, because gravity and your heart will get the blood pumping out and down, but your calves help get that blood and everything back up because it's fighting gravity. So a couple movements that you can do while you're driving and you have your cruise control on and you're not in the middle of the city, you always practice. I've never have tried sea moss. I am actually looking into that right now. Lots of fascinating stuff with that. Very, very good. But skin healthy. Yes. So you definitely want to. I shower in the middle of the day, and I shower usually every other day. And that will because showering every day, you actually strip your body of natural oils. So I shower every other day, and then I keep chemical-free wipes in the truck just to freshen up at night before I go to bed. And your sunscreen, if you want to use sunscreen, use sunscreen. I typically will put a shirt over my arms while I'm driving to keep the UV rays off of me. The windows that we have sun exposure through, it actually is made, and there's two UV lights. You got your alpha and your beta. And right now, I don't want to get misquoted. One is good, one is bad, and I can't remember which. I think the alpha is the good one and the beta is the bad one, but I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. But the windows are made to actually filter out the good UV rays, and the bad UV rays are actually what comes through. So you want to try to keep those rays off of your skin as much as possible through the window. Now, if you can get it through just actual real rays, it won't be as bad because you'll have both of them. So that's one really important trick, because we have those windows on us all the time, and that's what filters in and out those UV rays. Some people like sunscreen, some people don't. It's really your preference. It does help. But if you don't want to, you can always just put something over you just to help protect from those UV rays. Avocado is a very good healthy fat. I love avocados. Glucose equals weight. Carbs does not equal glucose. No. That is one of my big pet peeves. Because carbs it can be fiber, and glucose is essentially sugar. And so there's good carbs, which has a lot of fiber and which is natural. And then you have your high processed. The main thing is just stay away from the high processed stuff as much as possible. So the more processed it is, the unhealthier it can be. But you got to remember, just everything is processed. You get organic food and you cook it in the kitchen. Well, that is a process. You are processing the food. So, but when you start using the super high heat to process, and you start throwing in a whole bunch of chemicals to process, or you take out nutrients to process it, and then you put nutrients back in, that's where the health issues start coming from, because it has so much high process in it. Then another question that I really saw with the blood pressure and then obesity is alpha can't penetrate beta, hence the name beta burn. Okay, thank you for clarifying. I always get on flip flops, so it's good to know. Another good one is calcium and vitamin K2. K2 actually helps you absorb that vitamin D in, which the vitamin D helps with it's all very interlinking, and but those are some really good supplements to take if you take your vitamin D. You want to take it with the K2 because the K2 helps you absorb that vitamin D in. Another reason why exercise is so important is not because of the calories in, calories out, but when you use your muscles are connected to tendons, and the tendons are connected to bones, and that's what allows you to bend your arm. Is the muscle is constricting, which pulls on the tendon, which pulls your arm into you, and then it'll relax, which relaxes that tendon, and it relaxes that arm. That pulling and constricting on your muscles on that bone is actually what strengthens your bone and helps prevent osteoporosis. And so that's another reason why exercising or purposeful movement is so important, is to keep your bones strong too. Let's see. So the three main health concerns that I noticed in the Shetrucking Facebook group, that was going to be the high blood pressure, which I kind of touched on. And please comment, let us know, and what it's going to be, what more information you want on, because I can go so much deeper on these. You got your blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes. So we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to touch on diabetes when we come back.
Electricity is cheaper than diesel fuel, and charging overnight means you never have to stop at the diesel stations again. Maintenance costs are lower because EVs don't require oil changes or replacements of high-cost combustion engine parts. You'll also be eligible for tax incentives and grants funded by programs like HVIP.
I don't like this. There are cars everywhere.
Bobby's, you're about to get on the interstate,
oh
so slow
God.
the truck down.
Oh, God.
Slow the truck down. For real, slow the truck down. Stay over here on the left, okay? Take your high side. Go up here, okay?
I cannot believe I'm getting on the interstate.
Accelerate. Stay on this side, accelerate. Go faster. Go faster. Faster, Bobby, faster.
Crap.
Look at all this traffic.
There are cars everywhere.
And then we're going to take it to the highest gear that you've ever been in. We're going to take it to the 10th gear.
Now?
Now. There we go.
10th gear right now!
Hey, I'm Todd Spencer, president of OOIDA. We're here at the Walcott Truckers Jamboree. Want to let everybody know that OOIDA is started by truckers 50 years ago this year, started by truckers to give them a voice in Washington, D.C., and in other places as well. We have members that are drivers, members that are owner-operators, members that are small fleet truckers, and some members that are just supporters of the industry. But you're all welcome. If we work together, we can address some of the serious issues in trucking. And believe me, we have some serious issues that you know all too well. So, hey, we are stronger together. Be a part of what we do. We have an office in D.C. We know how to communicate with the lawmakers. Just need the support of you all. So join, please.
Hey, welcome back. We have been having a lot of good conversation coming in, and I'm loving these questions. We have talked about, touched on nutrition. We have touched on purposeful movement, aka exercise. We have touched on high blood pressure, and now I kind of want to go over diabetes. This is actually what has scared me healthy. Diabetes. My aunt was diagnosed with diabetes in her 30s, and she died at the age of 48 due to complications of diabetes. 1 in 3 Americans will be diagnosed with diabetes, and they say 2 in 1 Americans have pre-diabetes that's undiagnosed and just don't know it yet. I had the pre-diabetes diagnosis, and with my aunt happening, I was like, no, we are going to find something. We are going to get healthy, and we're going to stop playing. And I was able to lose the 60 pounds during the year I was going to health and life coaching school. And through that process, I drove almost 130 miles that year, lost the 60 pounds, and lost my prediabetes diagnosis. And I was able to keep it off 3 years later, and I'm still working on it. And I just watch, and that's the reason why I watch so much with my sugars and try to keep that steady level as much as possible instead of those huge roller coasters. And I saw statistics. There is 3.2 million semi-truck drivers, and they're saying 70% of truck drivers will get diagnosed with diabetes. So this is like really, really important, and it can be very scary diagnosis. A lot of doctors or modern medicine will say this is a progressive disease and it cannot be prevented or it cannot be reversed, which has been proven false. It can be with hard work. One of the main things that worked for me was I would learn to look at labels, and I would not tell myself I couldn't have something if it had a lot of sugar in it. I would ask myself, is all this sugar worth it? And does it meet what goals I want? Or am I just wanting it just to have it out of habit? Or am I wanting it because I'm an emotional? And I've just learned to figure it out. And one of the main things that I look at the nutrition labels is I look at that one line that says added sugars. And if it had more than 6 grams of added sugars, I didn't pay attention to total carbs. I didn't pay attention to any of the other stuff. Only thing I paid attention when I started out was just that added sugar. And if it had more than 6 grams of added sugar in it per serving, I would question myself if that's what I wanted. That was the biggest key for me to help with my weight loss journey. Diabetes is, I don't know how deep to get into this because this can get pretty deep. Your pancreas is what sends, whenever you eat a lot of sugar, sends out hormones and insulin to say, hey, we need to bring those sugars down. When my aunt had diabetes, she said that the doctor explained it to her that when your glucose levels or your blood sugar levels get so high, it's like having shards of glass just floating through your bloodstream. And that's what makes it so dangerous, because it can, sorry, it's really emotional. But it can wreak havoc on your body inside. Water does help dilute it. So when diabetics come into the hospital with super high sugar levels, they will hook them up to IVs to help dilute it. So that's another reason why water is important. It does help dilute it some. But the main thing with it's just 70% of truck drivers can have diabetes, y'all. That's just such a scary number. And it's just so easy to find ways there's different little tricks. So obviously watch your sugar intake. If you had a long night of driving and you just want a bowl of cereal, there's nothing wrong with having a bowl of cereal. Just add some fiber and add some protein to that bowl of cereal. And what that does is it helps the body not absorb it as fast. So if you add some fiber and add some protein to a bowl of cereal, it would actually keep your blood sugars from going way up and going down. It would just spike it a little bit. So that's just some of the little tips on the diabetes to keep in. If you want great questions. Am I hungry or is it emotional? Well, for me, and this is where you start learning how to pay attention to your body because everybody's different. For me, when I'm craving sweets, I am emotional. I'm bored, I'm tired, I'm emotional, just along those lines. When I'm craving something salty like chips, I have found out that I am dehydrated, so I will drink more water. So that's kind of what has worked for me, and it's just questioning what works for you, and that's the hardest thing. Fiber suggestions for cereal. Fruit will work. If it has a skin, it has more fiber. If you peel the skin, it has less fiber. So that's one way to kind of keep that in mind. But yes, actually eat the fruit first and then eat the bowl of cereal because that fiber will get into the system, which will help the sugar when you eat the cereal. Because we all know at the end of a long drive day, we don't want to do anything, and that's just quick and easy. But we are going to go ahead and wrap up. We are almost at an hour, y'all. You can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. If we're not friends, it's hard for me to get the messages. So send me a friend request and then I can get your messages quicker. You can reach me in Shetrucking Facebook group. If you have questions, that's actually the best place to ask them. Because if you have the question, another driver will have the question and we can help each other out in the community. Shetrucking has been doing this wonderful thing where we're having different hosts and to help all of us be successful in different areas. Cindy is doing the introducing all the moderators and everybody, and she's really big on that work-life balance. So she's going to have a lot of great tips with that. John, she is really helping out with other aspects in the transportation industry. And she's really big on trafficking, sex trade. So tune into her shows. And then me, I'm doing the health and wellness segments. So please send questions to all of us. That way we can get these shows geared towards what you need so you can be successful in the transportation industry. And that is what Shetrucking is all about. We do want to mention this is the end of the truck driver appreciation, and just thank everybody for their donations of everything that we've been doing. And Shetrucking is handing out gifts to drivers. So if you haven't received yours yet, it's coming. It's coming. Just give it a little bit longer, but we got you. And y'all have a blessed night out there. Bye.
For all my ladies out there trucking towards they goals. Let's go. She gon' take care of her biz, she trucking, she trucking. She a woman with a rig, she trucking, she trucking. She gon' take care of her kids, she trucking, yeah. She a boss, she do it big, she trucking, she trucking, she trucking, she trucking, she trucking. She a boss, she do it big, she trucking, she trucking. She a woman with a rig, she trucking, she trucking, she trucking, she trucking, she trucking. Often hated, never duplicated. We underestimated cause it's male dominated, but we getting payment like it's money motivated. Our clientele rated while they dragging, we gon' slay it. By the hour, we them girls and we got power. Haters everywhere like no patches, they be sour. Dropping lows, no road and we be running. You can never do it like us and that's a bummer. They got my back, so I got my girls with me. I can't be like you cause the shoes just won't fit me. All these moves and we make it all happen. We just show and prove while the rest of y'all rapping. Clocking in and making ends when them racks up. Focus like the lens, we don't focus on the trends. Nah, like a truck is pulling in, told them back up. Focus and pretend we don't notice who they is. She gon' take care of her bitch, she trucking. She a woman with a rig, she trucking. She gon' take care of her kids, she trucking. Yeah, she a boss, she do it big, she trucking. She trucking. She a boss, she do it big, she trucking. She a woman with a rig, she trucking.
Become an exclusive member of Shetrucking. Benefits include sister chat and mentorship, online trainings and workshops, Audible book club, exclusive meet and greet events, and community mobile app. Plus, get a free life planner when you sign up. Don't miss this opportunity. Go to www.shetrucking.com to join.
Be strong.